Welcome back to Trinity. We are a podcast that talk about movies, gaming. I'm Charlie. This is Connor.
Hello.
And today we're going to be going over Blue Beetle. We just came out and saw that. Marvel Snap. Life is Strange. True Colors, because I haven't played the rest of them yet. Pokemon. Top 5 games, reasons why, and films and reasons why. So we're going to start it off with Blue Beetle. So me and Connor both went to see Blue Beetle today. It was absolutely amazing in my eyes. What did you think, Connor?
I think that was one of the best superhero films I've watched in a long time.
Yeah, so when the film actually finished, I said to Connor, I was like, I've got a new favorite DC superhero now, because it's just like sort of my style. I like the sort of goofy sort of hero sort of arc. So obviously I like Spider-Man, but originally it was Flash. But as soon as I saw like the suit, the gadgets, stuff like that, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it was the way like the character is amazing, like how unserious he is and how geeky he is. And I
Yeah,
think that makes like the entire film better because like I don't think this is a spoiler, of course it's in the trailers, but when when he makes his weapons, he like references like other geeky stuff with it. Like I'm pretty sure that's a Final Fantasy weapon. I think that's where it's from. I might be wrong with that. Like in the trailer,
I think
what the
yeah.
weapon what Cloud
The
uses.
the long sword are you talking about?
Yeah, I think it's the Buster Sword. I think.
I don't know. I don't play
Somewhat along
Final
them lines.
Fantasy.
I only know it from Super Smash Bros. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But yeah, like it was filled with like a bunch of like laughs and stuff like that, and that's what I like in films. It's sort of the type of film that you can just sit down, watch, have a giggle, couple of questions after, ended on like sort of a cliffhanger and ready for the next one. I'm actually really hyped for it. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with him.
Yeah, it looks like they're releasing a second one from the post-credit scenes.
No
So
spoilers. No spoilers.
I'm really looking forward to what they do with this character going forwards.
Some of your favorite characters. I don't know whether they showed. Did they show the sister off in the trailers? I don't remember.
Yeah, they showed the sister.
Yeah.
They showed the scene where I was on the rooftop and they were talking, like before everything happens.
So some of my favorite characters. Obviously, the main Blue Beetle. Was it Jamie? I don't know how you
It's
say it in.
it's the Mexican Spanish like
Yeah,
dialect. It's like hand me a smile, hey me.
yeah.
It's
I liked him. And then was it Millie? I don't remember. Much.
I will get up a list of cast right now.
I'm pretty
Uh,
sure her name was Millie. It's basically. I'm just gonna refer to him as Jamie because I'm not gonna try and say
okay, so the person you call him Millie has got a Mexican name, so it's probably just best to call him Mill because
Mill.
none of us will be able to pronounce that name.
All right, no worries, Mill.
And
Um,
Rudy,
Rudy, we absolutely love Rudy.
he made the entire like film amazing. There was never a dull moment when he was on the screen.
Also, when I was listening to him, can you check Rudy's actors' films and check if he was in Smurfs? I'm,
He's in Rio, Beverly Hills Chihuahua, Adventures of Shark Boy,
I
By
swear,
Next Door.
I
Hmm.
swear he was in Smurfs.
No, he's not. Oh wait, yeah, Smurfs 2, A Smurfs Christmas Carol.
Yeah, he was. Oh, I don't remember what Smurf it is. I think it's
I'll have a
Grumpy,
look. I'll have a look now.
but
He is not appearing. I can't find him.
as soon as he
Oh,
appeared,
Grouchy.
Grouchy, that's it, not Grumpy, Grouchy. But yeah, as soon as he appeared and started talking, I was like, is that? I don't remember. Is that him? I'm not sure. And then as the film went on, I was like, yeah, that's definitely him. I was really happy about it because I grew up with Smurfs and I love them.
I'd never watched Smurfs really as a kid or got any interest from it, so I would not know him.
Yeah. But the film as a whole, I thought it gave off like retro vibes. Like, I'm not saying that because there was sort of retro stuff in it. I'm saying it because it just gives off them the aesthetic looks good, and they've got references to like old like sort of games and stuff like that, like the um little spoiler, but not too much of a spoiler, but the Rubik's Cube Gatling gun. That's cool.
Yeah, I get what you mean by retro. Like the UI of the suit, what he sees whilst he's inside the suit is like the overlay is like an old like arcade machine type of overlay
Yeah.
with like the little health bar on the right and stuff like that. I think that was really weird at the same like weird but good
And what was you
because
saying?
I'm used to seeing Tony Stark's like HUD, so it's just weird seeing it like that cartoonish.
Yeah, that was it. You referenced him. I originally said it was just Ant Man's story, like Ant Man 1. Uh, like
Yeah,
you find
I see
something.
that.
He sort of well, it doesn't steal the and was called Scarab. Um, and then obviously no, it goes to him. He chooses him, but in Ant Man, it obviously got stolen, stuff like that. But you were saying it's like a reference to like Iron Man and stuff like that,
Yeah,
wasn't you?
yeah. I don't think it's Ant-Man, but I think it's more like the way I was thinking whilst watching it is that the Scarab and the Host is like Venom, where Eddie Brock is in this scenario is like Peter Parker, and
Yeah,
the symbiote is like like a little PG Deadpool, where it's like a child-friendly Deadpool in the way it acts
yeah, that
and
was
the way
it.
it like communicates. And I think that's like the perfect like cut like what's it called counterpart for me. I think that's Blue Beetle is like a Spider-Man Deadpool like what's it called contrast.
Yeah.
I think that's the right word. Probably not.
Now in the film, I'm pretty sure you see it. You see the old like Mexican town looking thing, and then you see the neon city. I'll call it. Uh,
Trove.
to all my Trove players out there. Yeah, you see like the neon city looking thing with all the like bright colors and stuff like that. What do you think the contrast is between there? Do you think it's like poor and rich
It
or stuff like that?
it really like does a good job of showing like the struggle of people who come from Mexico into the US.
Yeah,
And the way they showed that was like really good. Like they showed the big city with all the rich people like being a glowing like vibrant city, whereas the where the people from Mexico live is like a really dull, gloomy like probably washed up area of the city where nobody really cares about. And they managed to tackle that issue like very well without it being the main plot of the film, but still people take that serious like take it away seriously. Going, oh yeah, that's kind of not a good living crisis, living situation.
yeah. So would you say that this film's going in a good direction for DC
Oh,
or a bad
definitely,
direction?
definitely. I've somebody told me not to name shame. Somebody told me that they saw Twitter and said it was like one of like a flop of a film,
It
which
was me. It was me.
it was nothing but that. I was like, I'm actually scared that after this film, that DC films are better than Marvel films because as of recent, that tops any Marvel film I think I've seen in a while.
I don't know.
Not to say the
This
Marvel ones are bad, but just say this just is extraordinary compared to what I've seen recently
I'll say
regarding
it's
superhero films.
definitely better than Quantum Mania. That was sort of a washed film for me. I love Ant Man as a character. I love Wasp. I love like all this stuff like that. But I just feel like Ant Man sort of washed up the third film of it. You could have done without. Obviously, it introduces Kang and stuff like that, but you could have done without it.
Yeah, I'm kind of biased towards Quantumania because I have like a mild celebrity crush on Catherine Newton, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, you know what you're like. Um, but yeah, I honestly think that this film's going in a good direction for DC. Like, I thought it was going good for Flash. Like resetting the DCU. I'm guessing they've literally took that personally and said, look, we need to like think about what we're doing because people aren't liking our films. So they obviously reset it with Flash and like yeah, they've took it personal and done Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I'm actually happy that they've like reset the DC universe because before the Flash film, there was like 4 or 5 different universes going on at once, and nobody knew what film belonged to what and stuff. There's like 7 Superman films, like 8 Batman films, but none of them actually connect
Yeah.
because they're not the same Superman and Batman within Justice League, like the main considered main universe. So it's just one massive mess, and I'm actually happy that James Gunn is managing to like make it a stable universe where people actually understands what's going on and what's actually crucial to a storyline.
And you said something coming out of the cinema. You said uh, I'm glad that they had like a what was it, a Mexican director, was it?
Yeah, looking at the cast list at the end of the film, there were the entire like cast list, production team, like stage managers, stuff like that. The entire like 90% of them were from like Mexican or Spanish heritage. So that's what. So then obviously, if, like most films like recently, even if it's like a film about like black culture, they it's usually run by white people. So then so they can't really get the message off properly about what black culture is. They kind
Yeah,
of fumble it and like whitewash it. So I'm actually happy to see that this Mexican themed film is run by people of that descent, so they can actually accurately show what the struggles are of Mexican people without just getting that type of information from books or online.
yeah, 100%. So we haven't run our reviews yet, but we will. They're coming soon. Watch out on our page or our
And
Instagram. You
on
can see.
Barnsley Griffin's eSport on
Yeah,
Instagram.
that one. But what would you rate this film out? If you had to
Uh,
take
hmm,
the bad and the good parts of it, uh,
I don't think there is any bad parts. There was some choppy parts with CGI, but if you let those minor CGI errors take away from the film, then you're looking at it wrong because this film was amazing.
I think it was amazing. I'm more of a looks guy, so if I see like a really good looking game or a really good looking film, it gets high tiers for me. Now I know CGI isn't perfect right now, but I still think it sort of loses a couple of marks. I know I'm probably wrong there, which I probably am, but still feel like there should be a couple of points taken off. But obviously, it's not their fault.
Yeah, it's I think with the how much was going on, like how he can fabricate whatever weapons he wants, like at his like whatever his mind wants to make, he can make it happen in a second. I think they did well on that CGI type front where they can make weapons from old games come to life. I
Yeah,
think they managed that really well. But something I saw recently whilst watching a video is that people hate the MCU right now is because they don't have like proper armor up scenes where like they equip the armor and stuff like that. It's all like revolved to nanotech now. But this film, like I said, it's taken over Marvel because in this film you see him armor up, not just like randomly a suit appears on him, like oh yeah, that's his suit now. They show like the sequence of his suit, like taking over each part of his body, and that's something I've missed in Marvel for a long time because we know that all the old characters from Marvel that they don't show those suit up scenes anymore.
yeah.
It's kind of lose its impact. But in this film, they definitely showed that when Jaime, one of the two, I can't speak that dialect. When he puts his suit on it shows it properly, and I really enjoyed that.
I just think the act. I don't know the actor's name, but I feel like he fits it perfectly. If it was someone else, like I don't know, some random person, maybe a popular celebrity, like I don't know who else has got curly hair. Tom Holland's had curly hair before. We'll just say him. If that was the case, then I don't think it would have done as well as I think it has. Um,
Yeah.
not because he's a bad actor or anything. I'm just saying that because obviously is I think he's Mexican.
Well, look at his name looks very. Yeah, he's a. What's this? Oh, born and raised in LA in a Mexican American household.
Yeah.
So looks like he is. Yeah.
So just to have like the like you said, someone from that heritage to do a film, stuff like that. I feel like it sort of brings it to life a lot more than like Tom Holland would or stuff like that. Um,
Yeah. Getting actors to suit the roles they play rather than just getting actors for the sake of money.
yeah, like Tom Holland's British. He can put a American accent on very very well, but again, it's not like Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Even though they are probably my least favorite Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, it goes Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, just from what happened in No Way Home. He had like a bit of a character revival from Amazing Spider-Man 2. Um,
Andrew's always on top of me. I think he's the best Spider-Man by miles.
yeah, but there's stuff going around that's like saying that is a good Spider-Man, but he's also a very like um what is it uncanny um Peter Parker. Because if you look at Andrew Garfield, you'd be like, oh, he's top of the school. He's such a cool kid or stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's just cause that's how like American like directors do American schools. Like they make all the American like high school kids like 20-year-olds for some
yeah,
reason. I think I that's in like every single type of film. I think that's one of the stupidest like movie things I think I've ever seen is when like, oh, this is a high school. Yeah, let's make it look like high schools by putting 30-year-olds in like old like in young people's clothing. Like, oh, just pack it in. That's just disturbing.
Yeah. While we're on the topic of DC, actually, um, the Flash has been out for a couple of months now.
Yeah,
Um,
don't have to worry about spoilers then because it's been out for a while.
yeah. So obviously, if you haven't seen it, there is going to be spoilers now because I do want to talk about it. Um, but the cameos that we had, so we had like Nicolas Cage's Superman. Uh, what was it? Not Ben Affleck. We had Ben Affleck to start off with, and then it
Michael
went
Keaton.
Michael Keaton. That was it. And then we had like Superwoman, stuff like that. And just on what you've put in your review and stuff like that. How do you think that these cameos should impact DCU? Obviously, it's
Well,
reset, but if it wasn't, how do you think that these
oh,
would
right. What like
impact?
DC characters cameos in future films?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, I don't. I think they should just keep cameos out for now. I think they should keep this universe to its own universe. I don't think. I think the cameos like that should end with Flash with like the like collisions of universes.
yeah.
Like I don't want. I feel like it'll take away from like a new Batman if Michael Keaton appears.
I
Like and
see
like oh
that.
look I'm like a civilian. Huh? Look I'm Michael Keaton for like 30 seconds because that's just putting him there just for fan service, which is just I think it'll take away from the new Batman's arc. So I don't think they should have cameos from previous heroes within like the new films. Because I feel like it'll just drag the excitement and the attention from the main lead of the film.
Something I was thinking about. They've reset Batman, so what are they gonna do with the Twilight Batman? I forgot his name. Robert Pattinson. What are they gonna do with him?
Honestly, I don't care what they do with him. I have not watched that film. I don't like anything he's in. Any any women watching this will probably disagree because he's one of the most popular people amongst women on media.
Yeah.
But I just don't like him. I think his eyes really creep me out. I'm not gonna lie.
So I watched the Batman film and it was great. I loved the how dark it was, and you'll find out later. Um, but yeah, I loved how dark it was. I won't go into detail now. But yeah, I loved how it was done. Um, so we'll move on because I feel like we
Move
can
on.
go on for like hours about DC now.
Honestly, though. Have
Um,
you even addressed what Jacob's not here today?
oh no, sorry, I forgot.
I was just thinking then. Yeah, if you realize there's only two of us here, it's because Jacob's away at the moment down in London, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's down in London. I honestly can't remember why, but
he's
he'll,
taking
he'll
the
be back
sights.
next week, I think.
Yeah, he will. Sorry, I didn't address that. That is my bad.
No, I realized it when we started, but then I completely forgot until just now looking at the people who's online on Discord.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah,
where was I? Yeah, we'll move on because we could talk for hours about DC. But yeah, Jacob's not here. He will be back next week. So don't get too upset. He will be back with some new special things that are in the works right now.
yeah.
Um,
His own special segments.
yeah.
Look out for those.
So
Um,
the new season of Marvel Snap came out, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
yeah, it's 2 weeks ago. If you don't know what Marvel Snap is, for those who are listening to this part of the podcast and have no idea what we're talking about, it's like a new card game that's come out with like Marvel, where you've got to win three different locations of different like cards from like Marvel comics who have different abilities and stuff. Just to give you a basic rundown of what we're actually going to be talking about here, because I know it's not a very popular game amongst masses.
Yeah. So the new season came out. It's Japanese themed. And when I saw the trailer, I was absolutely flabbergasted. That is a big word. That is a big
That is
word.
a big word.
So it came out. I was absolutely amazed by what they were showing. I was so excited for the cards. It got to release date, and I was like, right, this is boring.
Yeah, I usually buy every Marvel Snap like season pass because I am addicted to the game personally. But this season, I think I'm just gonna dodge because only reason I would get this season pass is for the gold, so then I
Yeah,
can spend it on a card what comes out in 2 seasons, which is Miss Marvel, which I'm well, it's not confirmed, but I'm speculating because her film with Carol Danvers comes out soon. But I'm saving. The only reason I'd get this season pass is for the gold for to get her cards. But the rest of the season is just boring. There's no good cards in it. There's no good releases.
But I feel obviously it's thoroughly based around destroy decks. And for those of you listening and don't know what destroy decks are, basically you need to power up one card by destroying your other cards. That's basically what it is.
It's such
Um,
an easily countered deck though. So I don't understand why. What's this? This is like 2 seasons in a row where it's been a destroy deck focused like card releases.
yeah,
Because last
there's
season was Phoenix, right?
destroy move, and then there's
Yeah.
destroy this season. I wonder what they're gonna do for the Miss Marvel season.
From what Miss Marvel's card is, which has been like leaked, this isn't confirmed, but if she's on a location alone, the other 2 locations to her left and right get +5 power.
Oh
So,
really?
so it's like Mr. Fantastic, but she's got to be alone in that location.
Yeah,
So
that
that
could
could work
work.
really well with an Iron Man or something like that. Or I don't. I think she's a free cost card as well, so it could work well in a Silver Surfer deck.
Yeah. Oh,
Which I've got a deck at the moment because just waiting for Miss Marvel to be released just to place into it.
yeah. Speaking of which, in my season 3 shop, so basically you get a card every season for free, which is in the season 3 pool. I got Hella.
You got?
I instantly
Are you
claimed
gonna are
that.
you gonna claim it?
I've
Oh, okay,
already
good.
claimed it.
You've got Tribunal, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so Hella discard with Tribunal is a really good like deck for you to run because you're placing all those like 20, 12 power cards across the board and you just Tribunal it to split that power evenly.
The only
It's
problem
it's
I have
mental.
with
Iron Man
it,
as well is really good there.
the only problem I have with it is Hella can get destroyed. So it's a proper
Yeah.
RNG based deck.
Have you got Invisible Woman?
Not yet.
She's one of the key parts of it. If you place your Modok behind Invisible Woman, your Hella obviously won't get destroyed until the end of the game,
That's the
until
thing.
you've already placed her down.
I don't have Modok.
Yeah, so then you just got to rely on the RNG gods to give you the cards you need in order.
I have made a deck. I'll show you later. Of what it looks like, but it worked once from the 2 games that I played.
So a 50% win ratio.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
bad.
So obviously there's going to be some announcements tomorrow about the new season. Not new season. This is what they're going to be doing going forward. And
Oh
talking about
yeah, I
like the
forgot about that.
anniversary and stuff like that. What do you think personally they could do to improve on?
What, improve the game?
Just improve the game, quality of life, stuff like that.
I think they should increase the amount of tokens you get from just anything. Because tokens is a crucial part of like collecting more cards. And hold on, that's a burp, ignore that. Uh, Collecting tokens is a crucial part of like collecting more cards and increasing your collection level. But as of recent, they've reduced the amount of tokens you get through playing the game, which is given an absolute drought of cards recently,
Yeah,
especially for people who've completed like the early collections of cards. Like for me, for instance, I'm like on the late cards, which like a lot harder to get, and it's taken me so long to get one more card. I think it's the last card I got, like legitimately, other than like randomly dropping it, was about 2 months ago, and
really.
I'm missing like 20 cards. All the other cards I've got, like from dropping stuff, is from the spotlight caches,
I think
and
I'm.
even in the spotlight caches, I've got most of the cards they're releasing with those, except for the brand new one. And I'm not even getting the new ones anymore. I'm just getting the variants.
Yeah, I think I'm almost pull 3 complete. Almost. Um.
Any idea what you're missing? You Invisible Woman.
Uh.
Um,
Is Silver Surfer pull 3?
yeah, Surfer's pull free.
I'm missing quite a few, but I'm almost complete. I know that for a fact. I'm missing like 30 cards, I think.
Yeah, I remember when me and James tried to get into Marvel Snap. You're like, yeah, I'll play this when you played it like a couple times a day, and then me and James had to coach you through it.
Yeah.
And now you usually tell me to play it and tell me to get onto it because I've played it so much that I'm getting burnt out from it. But you're just like, go on, we need to finish the end of the season. We need to get these ranks,
Yeah.
even though I've already got the ranks before you.
I haven't got Infinity yet because I just haven't tried. Because my
Don't
go
say you haven't tried. You tried a little bit, but when you just couldn't make it.
No, I've stayed my exact same rank, so I started on 73 and I'm still 73.
I think I'm
Um,
like 104 right now.
I'm trying to get up, but it's like it's not difficult. It's just trying to put the time and effort into it. Just sit there and having the dedication to play, whether you win or lose, whether it's a terrible loss or just a little loss. But after a terrible loss of like 8 cubes, when you know you're gonna win, but something just drastically happens, you just proper burn out like instantly, and it's not good. I feel like they should do something there to improve it. Like maybe not take as many cubes off, or again lower the rank, lower the amount of cubes that you need to get, or stuff like
No,
that.
I don't think they should lower the cubes. They lowered it from 10 to 7. So like hitting infant now is like hitting the rank we get reset to now, like the rank 70, just from how much cubes we have to get instead of like how many we used to how many we used to get.
Yeah.
Because what is it? It's gone from 10 to 7, so that means overall you're getting 30 less ranks to hit infinite. So the rank we reset to now is the same as like I don't know. It's just I don't they can't lower it again. That's
Well,
just something they can't do. I disagree with that.
if they can't lower it, I feel like they should do something like maybe put a card in, or maybe a location that you can get, like Fogwell's gym where you get double boosters. They should be like double the reward.
That is a good location. I do like that, but there's
It,
too many locations that need to be hot locations before that one comes back out.
yeah. I just feel like something like that, or something that improves us, getting like more credits, more boosters, just to upgrade cards, get up in collection levels easier. Well, not easier, but like more. Yeah, no, screw it, easier. Um, so something a bit easier for the players to play, for the players to get. Sorry, and something that I feel like they should add is something a different type of deck, away from the main discard, destroy, move,
Uh,
stuff like that.
Discard, destroy, move, control, bounce. They do need to add a new archetype because
Yeah,
these ones are just getting boring.
because
What type of archetype would you like then? What would you like to see as like a new card?
I don't know, to be fair. I feel I don't know.
I
I
feel like they've
genuinely
covered
don't
all the
know.
bases really, because you fill the opponent's hand, you fill your own hand, you fill their decks. Like you move, control, discard, destroy, bounce, collector. They're like I don't think there's any other type of card you can add now.
I just think they need to base it. Like they should make a deck that's primarily based on RNG, like Agatha.
Agatha decks are fun to use.
They are fun, but they're also
Uh,
so heart
uh,
wrenching.
for, for context, Agatha, when you play Agatha Harkness, she starts off in your hand of cards, and she plays the rest of the game for you until she can play herself. So she's in complete control of what happens on your side of the board, and so it leads to very interesting games.
It's very fun to use though. If you aren't a Marvel Snap player now, I feel like you should get into it. Um, you should try it out, a couple of hours maybe. Not even straight out a couple of hours. I feel like maybe I don't know, half an hour a day. Just try it out. Let us know what you think, like down in the comments, or if we post a TikTok about it or something like that. Just let us know what you think about it. It's something that should be tried. I feel like every game should have at least something tried. Um, but yeah, I feel like Marvel Snap is in the whole should have a better quality of life improvement. So like there's lags from like Conquest when you're trying to get out of Conquest screens, and it's you failed it, so it keeps trying to pop up, and you just want to get to your shop or something like that on reset.
Or you just don't want to look at the lost screen.
Exactly,
It's very like demoralizing seeing like it try to pop up constantly about you failed the conquest matches. And it's like, yeah, I know, please stop telling me.
exactly, yeah. Uh, but yeah, along with architect, I think it was that you said
Archetypes.
archetypes. That's it.
Architects design buildings.
Oh, my bad, my bad. I
I
don't.
wanted to be an architect when I grew up. Sorry, side thing.
Save it for your
Carry on.
rant. Save it for your rant.
I'm not gonna run. Too tired to run today. Just
uh,
it was a little thing that popped into my head. I always wanted to be an architect growing up.
yeah, I see that. You've got good designs.
It's because I grew up designing, like not design, but drawing Pokemon and playing Minecraft. I was like, you know what? I could do this in real life.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I was too dumb for it.
Yeah, you are. Dumb.
No need.
There is.
All right. Anyway, what were you saying about archetypes?
I feel like there should just be an archetype. So obviously you've got the movies, you've got the comics. There should be an archetype like just primarily about the Avengers, and with them cards coming together, they should do something.
When you said the word Avengers, I just like I was thinking the exact same thing as you. Like the archetype is like how high evolutionary powers up certain cards in your
Yeah,
deck. If you partner cards like Hawkeye and Black Widow, who are like canonically like best friends, I think maybe they might be in love in some places, but let's talk about Hawkeye's cheating a different time. Um, if you put those two in a deck together, like they should have an interaction what does like a certain thing, like power each other up or whatever. I mean,
or
like if he plays like Captain America and Red Skull, something bad should happen to their side or whatever, or like destroy a location.
yeah.
I feel like there's so much like so much room for like fun game modes and fun like interactions by doing that.
Another thing, like you said, high evolutionary. Um, Nick
That is not how you
Fury.
say evolutionary.
How high evolution evolution?
Hi, evolutionary.
Sorry,
This
it's
is
my
why I have no
dyslexia.
friends.
Wow.
You
Um,
can't blame dyslexia on speaking.
I can't speak. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, Nick Fury powers up all these cards, so like Iron Man, Captain America, Widow,
That'd be
Hulk,
good.
stuff like that. So it's rather than it being high evo, right?
Change Nick Fury to be like a good guy, high evolutionary.
Yeah,
That's actually really good. An interaction I'd like to see is Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel. I feel like that'd be a really good interaction in game.
I don't know how it worked though.
I don't know how it would work because Captain Marvel is at the end of the game you it moves to a random location that could win. And Miss Marvel obviously
Lose a
leaked that
location.
she yeah like the adjacent locations get +5 power if she's the only card there. So I don't understand how they'd interact, but maybe it's like one of those instances where it completely changes the ability of both cards if they're in the deck together.
Yeah, I
Mm.
don't know. I just feel like if they had they should make like a spider deck or like an X-Men deck. Them type of uh archetypes um just feel like that it'd make the game more improved.
Yeah,
Um
it increases the player's need to like complete collections of like characters and teams and like build theme-based decks rather than like decks where like oh this deck's got to move a win because I've seen somebody else use it. You could like oh look I like the Avengers so I'll make an Avengers deck or I like the X-Men so I'll do this or Spider-Verse so I'll put Miles and Gwen Stacy in your deck together. Like I feel like it'll promote people making more fun decks rather than having to follow meta decks.
yeah, like what are the meta decks right now? There's Destroy.
What what is the meta deck? I think it's Deacon in the meta deck right now.
Yeah, so it's Destroy.
Yeah, well, destroy discard because his ability works with destroy and discard.
Because if you play Deacon, you've got Moon Girl to duplicate the
Mirror Master Sword.
Mirror Master Sword. That's it. And then obviously that doubles its power after it's destroyed. So those type of decks are just like sort of boring because you've done it all before. You've played it all.
Yeah, you've done it with Deadpool where you destroy the one cost Deadpool stuff like that. Like
Exactly.
it's just destroy decks just rebranded really. It's like it's like IKEA and Lidl.
Yeah,
They look similar but they're completely different. But they're roughly the same thing.
but I feel like uh with obviously Marvel Snap coming to PC like fully rather than just being on Steam.
What do you think the changes are going to be for that? Because I didn't realize this like Steam version of Marvel Snap was like not an official version. It's just like I like a mobile version just blown up on a monitor.
I'd say
What do you think
anywhere
like the new
really.
UI and layout's going to be like?
Oh, I hope it looks good though. I don't know what it's going to entail, but I hope it looks good.
You know what I'd like is that on this new Marvel Snap desktop version is that if you have one of those monitors what can turn portrait is that it, like has like a portrait like layout when you obviously turn your monitor to the side.
Yeah.
Like how people have like Twitch chats on it. Like I feel like that'd be a good way to play is if you have your monitor portrait and you can play like that.
Or you get like your touchscreen monitor and you can just flip cards up and stuff like that. That'd be cool.
I wouldn't trust myself with a touchscreen monitor. I'd probably end up scratching it. I've already got candle wax on this monitor and it's not even near candles at the moment.
Jesus.
Listen, in my defense, I tried to blow out a candle, completely missed a candle, and blew the wax all over it.
You're an
Just
idiot.
the wax just went all over the monitor.
But I feel that they'll do something good. Ben Bro, I trust the guy. I like the guy. He's funny.
He's one of the best people. Have you seen Nina is Noob's recent video with him?
No, no, not yet. I know it's a Guess Who. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it's like Nina's other Guess Who's where she like describes the cards. This is actually just like a full on like 20 question style Guess Who,
Really?
and he's so funny on it. He like it's got like a hidden cheat because he developed the game. He's known the cards since 2018.
Yeah.
That's when he started playing Marvel Snap. Even though Marvel Snap only came out like last year, he's been playing since 2018 because that's when the idea for it emerged. He played it with physical cards, which I think is really cool. Just imagine like the physical cards of Marvel Snap.
That
That
I
that's
really
something
want
I'd
one.
collect.
I want
I
one.
think that's something. There's a app called Free Prints where you can download where for 4.99, like at the end of the month, you can print off 45 cards,
Yeah.
like well 45 pictures. So I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna print off Marvel Snap cards
I
and like
actually might join you on that because that would be flipping cool.
they're really good quality prints as well. Like I've got some really HD like prints and I've printed off all the Marvel movie posters, which I'm supposed to put around the top of my room, but I've only placed Captain America, Captain Marvel, and Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 at the moment.
Yeah.
Iron Man should be up, but he fell down. He didn't want to stay up, so I've just kind of left. I don't even know where he is.
Iron Man took
Somewhere
the
in my
Black
room
Widow
though.
route. Sorry, uncalled
Oh my
for.
god.
Uncalled for.
Iron Man sacrificed his soul.
Uncalled for. Sorry. Um, but yeah, I hope that they do something good with the Marvel Snap because I
Yeah.
enjoy the game. It's just gotten so boring recently.
It's not like it's a bad game, it's just that the base game is not changing fast enough, and for people who've played it a long time, it's just getting repetitive. So
Yeah,
I feel like they should have like a new game mode, like at the bare minimum to
they've
make.
just added Conquest.
Yeah, but Conquest is just normal Marvel Snap, but just longer matches.
True.
So I mean, like, add a completely different game mode where it's like, well, like on what is it, Valorant is like Swift play, where it's like really short matches, but on I guess Marvel Snap version, it's like you have to win one location per
Yeah.
match, but you're not allowed certain cards because some cards can really mess up, like Goose and Professor X.
Yes.
But I feel like having to win like one location, or like have like daily game modes that come out, like how Overwatch has like arcade modes. Have like an arcade mode of Marvel Snap, where it's
As
like that's where they can have the featured locations where can I have like, oh, for this game mode, only this game mode appears. Like how Overwatch is like only this game mode appears because it's only just came out.
yeah.
So I feel like they could have like an arcade mode because that means they can have more fun with the game rather than being scared of ruining the main game.
What about this? Right, this seems cool. So you know the 3D variant of the card that you can get when it gets to like, animate and stuff like that, or is it
Yeah,
blue? I don't remember.
I don't know which one it is.
But
Pretty sure it's blue.
how about when they do that? It actually turns into like a 3D model, and you look at the board from like your way.
Imagine if technology like increases in that style Marvel's not been played in like 10 years,
That'd be
where it's
sick.
like one massive like. Have you been to like a more futuristic arcade where it's like those Pong machines, where it's like
Yeah,
really like big like just boards and it looks really good. Like imagine that, but like you play down the cards, like you play down a card with like a QR code on the back of it, where you put it on the table, and then like some sort of like image appears above the card
that'd be
of what
cool.
card you're playing.
That's
I think
ages away though.
that's
Bloody
it. That's a
hell.
long time away. That's not. Yeah, I hope Ben Bro adds that in the next update. I feel like that's one of my favorite. Like I've now hyped myself up for that, and it's not even going to happen. For like if even if they do develop it, it's not going to happen for like 25 years.
We'll be dead.
Not even NASA has that type of technology yet.
I don't know. Aliens exist.
I mean, yeah. Side topic. They confirmed aliens exist and stuff, but nobody really cares anymore. If they
Exactly.
would have, if they would have told us about like a year ago, everybody would be like losing their minds and like going absolutely mental. Like it'll be all over the news. But I don't think not a single news like program has covered it. But NASA literally confirmed aliens exist.
It wasn't NASA, it was the US
Oh,
government, I think it was.
I think one. Yeah. Oh, well, that person then. Sorry, misinformation. But I've always thought they existed, and to call and like to say that we're the only species in the universe, I think is just absurd. Absurd. It's just you. It's an endless universe with endless possibilities, and you really think we're the only people who exist?
And you think
It's
about it, right? Each star, this is proper getting off topic here, but each star is a galaxy. And in a galaxy, there's
well,
multiple, like,
well, each
planets.
star isn't a galaxy.
Well, each star's something. I've said that wrong,
Each
haven't I?
galaxy has like hundreds of thousands of stars which have their own solar systems.
That's it, yeah. Uh,
You didn't do year four in science.
I didn't. I did, but I was
I
really
didn't even
bad at
do year
science.
four. I skipped year four.
I was really bad at science. But
But
yeah,
at my GCSEs, I got a 2-2 on my science because I didn't sit the exam. I just answered the tick boxes and cleaned my teacher's classroom for her.
lucky.
I love that teacher. Shout out to her. I've got her name for a second now. Oh
I was
no.
like, don't expose, don't expose. But yeah, there's like endless possibilities in the universe because, like you said, thinking that we're the only ones here is stupid.
It's just naive. Like the people actually think we're the only people who exist across the entire universe, and for those people, I just feel sorry for them that simple minded. And I think calling them aliens is just wrong. They're just another species, which I feel like calling them aliens is like demeaning.
They're aliens to us though, because they're from outer space. They're
And would
from
be aliens to them, but
exactly.
I don't know. I feel like the word alien has had so much like negative connotation around it with like movies and stuff that
Yeah,
I feel like calling different life aliens is just really bad because we don't know all the species in the ocean, but we're not going to call them an alien.
yeah.
Like it's I don't know. I think it's just demeaning to them.
And going to that, in film studies, I went over a movie called Invasion of the Body Snatcher, where it was like a mix
I've heard
between
that.
aliens and communism. Uh, yeah, we're
My favorite mix.
getting into the sides here. But yeah, it's a mix between like that and where the aliens try and take over people's body by making them, I forgot what they're called, like imprints of themselves.
Like Secret Invasion sounds like you're
Yeah,
describing like
yeah, like exactly like that. You turn into someone, but the responding person is dead.
oh
But so it's not as vital as secret. It's not as severe. Um, like it's not shown. Yeah, that you get what I mean. Um, but yeah, I've studied that and like going into each detail, trying to like pick out each scene and picking out like the communism and stuff like that in it. Just sort of put a really bad name on aliens. So like when we went to watch E.T., I was like, oh, this alien's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be evil. End up being the nicest thing in the world.
evil terrestrial.
Yeah, but it it's portrayed very differently in each movie. Like the Skrulls in Secret Invasion, they're seen as the bad guys.
Even though they are good guys, it's just like they're led by a bad person.
Exactly. So it depends on the writers if they're writing a movie. But in real
Yeah.
life, I feel like if we did meet an alien, obviously we wouldn't welcome them with open hands. We'd welcome them with a gun.
But I don't know. I feel like showing like violent like body language to them is like I don't think we should risk that. We don't know what type of stuff they have on wherever they come from. Like, what if we they go, oh, he's got a gun, right? Hold on, Mr. Alien Leader, just blow up this Earth real quick because this guy I don't like him. I feel like obviously we should take caution if we ever like met them, but
Yeah,
I don't feel like we should do it in a violent manner. I think we should just
I
figure
th-
out how to communicate with them and then just draw the line at that. I don't think we should get too involved with how they live.
but that's how the world is though. We'd welcome that alien or that species of life with a gun.
Mm.
Like say Luna, for instance, the space dog that went up. If that dog's still alive, they'd get back, they'd kill it, and they'd do an autopsy instantly because they'd want to
Yeah,
know answers.
it's just how the world works, unfortunately.
Like when I don't know whether this is true or not, but I could imagine when cancer was first discovered, they'd probably the first person that probably died from it because it wouldn't be as bad as
They would have been
meeting an
examined
alien.
like hell
They would have been like ripped open, torn apart, and stuff like that, and seen what's causing the
and
cancer.
studied. Yeah, it's
But I don't know.
It's
And
just the world is a messed up place. That's the
there's
moral of the
another
story.
thing about like time travel. You see all these people online saying, "Oh yeah, I'm from 2025. This is going to happen," and stuff like that. Some of them are quite accurate. For instance, Family
Some of them
Guy.
are really accurate.
Family Guy gets some stuff accurate, and it's very scary.
Yeah, it's they put scenes in not Family, Simpsons.
Simpsons, sorry, yeah, not Family Guy, sorry, yeah,
They put scenes in Simpsons which then like happen like in real life 5 years later,
yeah.
like to the very exact detailed camera angles and all.
What's an
Like
example?
where Trump was it Trump or Biden going down an escalator and there was a sign in the background and then that happened in real life.
Yeah, something like that.
There's there's too many instances of Simpsons predicting the future and I think there's some hidden meaning behind it. I think who is it? Is it Seth MacFarlane who does Simpson as well? Or
No,
is it that is he just
he's just Family Guy, and I think Futurama,
yeah,
maybe I might be wrong.
Simpsons director. Yeah, I don't know any of these names. Sam Simon. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, but
Anyway, yeah, but it's getting too coincidental that they know everything.
yeah,
I've always thought that if time travels to ever exist, that means it already exists now in just the rules of time travel.
there is definitely rules like you see in films where they promise each other if they ever discover time travel, they'd come back, or if time travel was ever invented, they'd come back to this moment to prove it. But
Yeah,
obviously, if that's the case, then you can't do that because obviously it'd break the fabric and stuff like that. Like if you step on a wrong piece of grass, you'd rip the timeline or stuff like that. That's just stuff that I've seen in movies, but
yeah. There are
obviously
a lot
it's
of
probably not real.
like there's like different like 50 different like versions of time travel rules across 50 different like films. There's how Avengers do it, then there's how Back to the Future do it, and then
Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy is a great example of how like going back in time works, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it was to ever exist, that means it exists right now, just because once time travel gets exists, uh, once time travel gets invented, that's not how what I meant to say. Um, the past, the present, the future all merge together by the
Yeah.
hands of the person who time travels. Like they don't exist in that time anymore. They exist throughout all of time. Like how the Kang at the end of the sacred timeline is in Marvel.
Yeah.
He came from a timeline, but because of how he discovered time travel, he now exists in all time at once. So I feel like once it gets made, that's it. There's no concept of time to people who know about it.
I love the fact that we've linked it all to like gaming and stuff like that. That's pretty smart of us. We are very smart.
Unintentional,
Unintentional. Um,
but it good nonetheless.
but I feel like we're getting sidetracked here. We've just
How
gone
do we
on a
go from
massive
aliens
rant.
and communists to a sacred timeline?
I don't
Anyway,
know.
that's a question scientists still can't answer without
Yes.
dissecting us.
Unless
Um,
you donate your body to science, which I will not be doing.
this came from Marvel Snap as our original
Yeah,
conversation about this. How did we?
I don't know. But
We are
we're
not.
on like the
We are not
topic
good.
of supernatural. Um,
Yeah.
so
I still can't remember how this topic of supernatural came along though.
I don't know. I think it was just talking about
I said
archetypes.
I said side topic randomly
Oh yeah, that
because
was it.
you said something. I said side topic. What was it you said though?
I don't remember. We'll figure it out.
We'll watch this back eventually anyway.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
But moving on from
Moving
all that,
swiftly on before we get too
before we get too
political, I
political and stuff
guess.
like that,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, well, I guess so. Since you said the same thing.
So I recently played a game called Life is Strange, and I like the look of this one game called Life is Strange True Colors.
Two
Um,
colors.
Two colors, yeah.
I've completely. I've not got that on my checklist. I thought you was going into the Pokemon part,
No,
but
no,
never mind.
no.
That's for later. Stay
Um,
tuned, I guess.
so I played this for the first time and played it all the way through. I absolutely fell in love with all these characters and stuff like that. Just how the story went on. Thanks to Connor for introducing me to it. Like I've done a lot of new stuff this year because of Connor, so heads up to him.
Yeah,
Um,
that's such a good example.
so I got introduced to that, and I think it's like in yeah, it's in my top 5 games. I reckon.
Also, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, that is going to be a very hot topic. This might go over a long time.
Yeah, this might be like an hour and 20 minutes this episode because
Yeah.
of our lists.
Uh, but the Life is Strange. I feel like Alex. I don't know a second name, but yeah,
Chen,
Alex Chen. That's it. One of my top favorite characters. I've just started playing Before the Storm, and I don't think Chloe even tops it, or Steph, or
Rachel.
Rachel. That's it.
I think you'll
I'll
like Max. Max is a bit like in Life is Strange, like the original season, which takes place after Before the Storm.
yeah.
I think you'll like Max because she's just like one of those like she gets introduced as one of those kids who are like really quiet and keeps themselves, and her entire like personality is photography. So you have to go around taking like photos of stuff and like
That sounds
take
interesting.
taking like photographs like is integral to the story. Little spoiler, like not big spoiler, but you can capture moments in time and then use your photographs to access moments in time.
Really? That's sick.
Yeah, so if she takes like a photo like at the beginning of the game, she can go like, hold on a second. If I just look at this photo, I can go back to that moment and make a change. And then her mind gets brought back to the present, and then everything what's happened since that change takes place at once.
Wait,
And
that's
it's
actually sick. Wait,
I,
hold
that's
on.
that's why
So you're
that's why I
telling
fell in love with
me
this season, that
You're
series.
telling me that if I chose to kill someone at the end of the game and I took a photo right before I killed them, I
You
could
can
go
go back
back,
to that moment.
save them, and then the entire the entire
Well,
story would change.
like, not just through the photographs. She can just rewind time with just her powers anyway. Just like mentally, she can just rewind time, but she can only rewind to a certain degree. Except exceptions being photos. Photos can rewind as far as she wants, but when she rewinds time at this like very moment in time, like if something happens right in front of her right now, she can rewind it like a minute,
That's
but
sick.
she can only access the really far past through photos.
That is actually sick. Could you take
Yeah,
photos like
I love
whenever
it.
you want?
Not whenever you want, only when it's crucial to the story.
Oh, okay,
And
right.
like how in uh Before the Storm where you graffiti and stuff,
Yeah,
you take like the way like the achievements is taking photos of like landmarks around Arcadia Bay. Like for instance, like a statue inside the school, you take a picture of that and that completes a thing, but like completes an achievement. But it's just a very aesthetic game. That's the reason why I fell in love with the Life is Strange series. I think Square Enix has done a very good job in making like a list of games which includes lovable characters and even some of the people who are bad in there. Like as considered the bad guys, you even see their charm. You even like he's a really bad guy, but I see why he is a bad guy.
yeah.
Like in True Colors, this game came out a while ago, so I'd have to worry about spoilers. Like in True Colors, the end villain who killed Alex Chen's brother, you're like, hold on a second, he killed that guy, but it's because he wanted to protect everything else what he's lived for. Like the entire life he's built upon this one lie. What got he had to be told, like he was told he
Yeah.
had to tell this lie. He had to build a life upon that, so he's protecting that lifestyle because that's how I was known for the past 50 years or whatever because he's been forced to live that life. So it's kind of like, I need to live this life. So in order to carry on living like this, I need to take like big action.
I
So I feel like you can see like a certain charm in bad guys in this series. Not in the Max one though. The villain in the Max storyline, that is just pure evil. If I could swear on this, I would call him the worst names known to man.
really.
He, well, I've kind of given away something about them. I've said it's a he, but they are the worst person on the planet.
Well, I should hopefully be able to play that Saturday a
Yeah,
little bit.
you won't know the villain is until like episode 4. So you've got like
Really?
6 hours worth of playing before you know truly who the villain is.
Oh my
They
god.
drop hints. They drop hints who it is because within like the first 4 episodes, you know who the character is. You know who they are, but the game plays mind tricks and they make you think it's one person, but then it's not that person. It's somebody else, and then it turns out it's not them either. It's so you're constantly trying to guess who the villain is, and it's amazing.
That is I'm excited. I'm actually really excited. I just didn't like the graphics, but the Before the Storm graphics sort of grew on me. So I hope
Yeah,
the remastered version of the Life is Strange one is better.
I'm not sure. The Life is Strange one came out before the storm, so I think they'll be roughly the same, unfortunately. But I
Is that
feel
right?
like this I feel like it's only the characters that have the bad graphics. I feel like the scenery in that. I feel like they
Oh
paid
yeah,
most attention to the scenery and the look of the environment compared to what the characters do. But the characters still fit into that environment. Then you kind of like, yeah, they look alright now that I actually pay more attention to the characters rather than not just being distracted by like the landscape and stuff.
I feel like through it all, I think True Colors is still going to be my favorite, just
Oh, I see
because
that.
of how like
You have a
graphically,
crush on Alex.
yeah, on that, but how graphically pleasing, if you could say that as a
Aesthetically
phrase,
pleasing.
that's it. It just looks like in general, and the amount of stuff that you can interact with. And I originally went
Yeah,
into this game thinking, oh, it's gonna be a joke. I'm just gonna play it, gonna have a bit of fun, and just be done with
yeah.
it. But I actually got an emotional connection to all these characters, so I feel like it's a game that's gonna be like up there for me for quite a long time until like Spider-Man
Even
comes out.
characters what even characters what even aren't main storyline, you feel a connection to like the old woman from True Colors who starts losing memory. You're
Yeah,
like, that's really bad. And like
exactly.
you're actually frantically looking around how to help this woman out, even though she's not real. She's just a couple pixels and ones and zeros on your screen. You're like, I need to actually help out this woman because what's happening to her is actually dreadful.
I did feel bad for that woman. But my
Yeah.
favorite bit in True Colors, can you guess?
Was it the Alex and Steph kiss?
No.
Well, that's my guess over.
It was the D&D type thing where they
The
all
oh the lab, the live action
yeah,
roleplay.
yeah, the lad, that's
That's a
it.
really good scene.
I
When they
absolutely loved it.
when they change it up at the end of the lap where it all goes actually like all the graphics and all like the effects and stuff come on, like all the lightning and stuff.
Yeah.
I knew you would enjoy that.
No, my favorite bit is I'm on fire.
I'm on fire. Ah, like Baptiste on
Yeah,
Overwatch.
yeah. But
Behind you. Ah.
I just feel like that this game is gonna be in my top five for like the like the foreseeable future.
I told you before you played it, it's a good game. Like I feel like my taste in like games and stuff is underrated and people don't trust it until they've actually played it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You've started to like rub off on me a little bit because what's happened in this year. I've played Life is Strange. I've listened to a bit of K-pop. I like it a little bit. I've started
Oh,
maining your mains in Overwatch.
I'm gonna
Uh,
clip that part and put it on TikTok about you saying you like K-pop.
Make sure you add
I'll
the
cut
little bit. The
I'll cut
little
out the
bit.
little bit.
Oh god.
Listen, every
Obviously,
time they come, it's like, oh, what's this K-pop person who's come on? And then like, what is it? And then you read out the names perfectly. I'm like, hold on a minute. I feel like you're doing background research on these groups.
I'm a secret spy.
Oh no.
But yeah, like, and again, the next topic that we're gonna go on to, not now, obviously, but Pokemon. Like, I used to be a huge Pokemon fan when I was like little. I used to like enjoy a couple of episodes because I couldn't find them, so I just went on YouTube and just watched like the mini films. But now, like, obviously, I've got into Pokemon. We'll go on to that in a bit. But yeah, you've actually started to rub off on me a little bit, and it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's. I'm just making a mini me, honestly.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I didn't like who you were before, and so I'm making your personality my personality just because I'm that narcissistic.
I honestly don't think I've changed much. I just think it's the stuff that I've sort of got into and sort of like.
Yeah,
Like obviously I've still got my old traits. Like I love Spider-Man. I love like all types of stuff like musicals. You hate musicals. I absolutely
I
adore them.
I don't hate musicals. I just don't like a lot of musicals.
Yeah, like I feel like we've both sort of helped each other through like rubbing off on each other and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's. I guess so.
but yeah,
There's not much I've really got from you though. Really, I don't think there's much I've got from you.
yeah, just make me feel bad about myself. It's fine.
No, because I feel like what it mostly is just you do the stuff I do, like Overwatch characters, games, and stuff like that, because I tell you to. But when you the stuff that you like Spider-Man games, stuff like that, I physically cannot play those at the moment.
Yeah,
So it's not like I can take some of your traits because I'm
somebody's
actually unable to
locked
right
through
now.
console. Yeah.
I can play Miles through Steam though, right?
Yeah, yeah. I do
Yeah, I
want you
remember
to
like
do that. I
2 episodes
will.
ago you said you give me your account, but I completely forgot to ask for it.
Yeah, I will. I want you to play that, and I will watch you play that because that is, it's
If my
pleasing.
PC can stream it and run it at the same time.
Mine was able to when I had yours.
All right, we'll see how it goes then, but we might have to wait until like October when I get the new PC,
Yeah, yeah.
because I know for a fact that I'll be able to do it. I'm so excited for this new PC, man.
It's gonna be good. We're gonna have to do 24-hour Trinity streams.
Honestly, I'll actually be able to stream now.
um,
Um, let's get back to what Life is Strange.
yeah.
We've wandered off again.
Uh,
It's
but
a good game though.
I feel like I'm gonna enjoy it. As I play it all. Obviously it's been slow because obviously Invasion's release and stuff like that, and Marvel Snap and movies to watch, work, stuff like that, all getting in the way of stuff that I want to do. But hopefully when I go back to college, we got everything sorted. I could probably sit down and play it. I'll probably get all the Life is Strange games finished before I go back. But yeah,
Yeah, didn't you do the True Colors in one sitting?
I did. Yeah,
Yeah, you started it from episode 1 to episode 5. I watched you, so I started it from being sat in my chair to watching the last 5 hours laid in bed. I moved my PC set up close to my bed and laid in bed watching you play it.
yeah.
It was very awkward though, because I had to like pull my PC forwards, unplug certain wires, which then didn't turn off the PC, but I had to unplug certain wires to let the PC wire get more tug on it.
But
It was all awkward.
yeah, we will move on. Uh, Now because I feel like we sidetrack from topics when we start to not know what to talk about.
Yeah, we're not good at this podcast stuff, but we're learning.
We're
Trust us, just
learning.
stick with us.
Trust the process. But yeah, moving on. So I was speaking about Pokemon earlier, and my favorite generation is the one with Froakie in it. I think it's Gen
Generation 6.
6. I was gonna say 5 for some reason.
Yeah, there you go. I was
Yeah.
like, no.
But Gen 6. Yeah. We just started watching it. Um, I I've been a huge fan of X and Y for like ages. I've obviously not watched it all because I couldn't, because I didn't know where to go. But we've got this site that we're watching it all on. And
So it's a
I'm
legal
really
site, don't
enjoying
worry.
it.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
good
legal.
site. We're not
We're
illegally
not
pirating
nasty.
stuff.
We're not nasty people. Don't worry. Um, but yeah, we started watching it, and I'm enjoying it. Team Rocket are winding me up, and
But that's what they should be doing.
Clement winds me up.
But we're just about to start episode 6 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just about to see did he do the rematch against the gym leader or not? I can't
No, not
remember.
yet. Not yet. Not yet.
He's about to do the rematch. He's been doing the training against
Yeah.
the Noivern's Gust with the balloons on his Pokemon.
Against Alexa. Yeah.
Yeah. See, you know the name, so that means you're taking on board the characters and stuff.
Like I said, I enjoyed Pokemon because I used to play it when I was younger, and I didn't know what to do with it because I was just a little kid, and I was like, oh well, funny Pokemon can catch them with funny little ball things, funny, yeah. So I played it, I enjoyed it. I loved getting the characters, and when a new move came out, I was like, ooh, what does this do? Found out it was Protect, and then I got rid of it.
Yeah, like a running joke between Pokemon community about like when you're younger, you don't use moves on your Pokemon that don't do damage.
Yeah,
If it doesn't do damage, it's seen as useless when you're younger, even though the non-damaging moves are the moves that carry you through the games. But it's such a surprise when you've kind of got back into it, started watching. I don't think you've ever fell out of like interest with Pokemon. It's just you either grow up with Pokemon or you don't. Like I grew up. I've been interested in Pokemon for the past I don't know about 15 years.
yeah,
I've been watching. I used to watch it before school every morning on the Cartoon Network. I when like X and Y was first coming out on Pokemon Black and White, I watched those like brand new episodes as they got released at 7 o'clock in the morning before school.
yeah.
And I've been doing it ever since until Sun and Moon came out. Then I stopped watching it because that was boring. Um, so like I feel like you either grow up with Pokemon or you don't. So the fact that you was into it kind of just fell out of it a little bit, and then now you're back into it again. It's just really weird to me that you managed to really yourself back into it.
Like I've always liked the idea of Pokemon. I like that there's little creatures. Some are cute, some are annoying, some are ugly, some are like just nothing. So I got into it. I was like, right, this is fun. I used to go to my friend's house all the time with my laptop and play Roblox Project Pokemon when that was
Oh,
around.
that's a good game.
So I was playing that, and that's when I actually really started to get into Pokemon. And then Pokemon Go came out, and I was like, oh, I can go
Uh,
outside and play a game where it's about Pokemon. I was
I
like,
think I've got a
oh,
love-hate relationship with Pokemon Go because I feel like there's like so many Pokemon fans, but only Pokemon fans because of Pokemon Go. And I don't know. I feel like I don't like interacting with the people who only know Pokemon through Pokemon Go.
I played Project Pokemon before Pokemon. I didn't play any
Yeah,
of the
I
actual
guess you're an
games.
exception.
I'm an exception. But I did like my true love for Pokemon did come from Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
Just like catching it all and stuff like that. Because that's what I like. I don't really like the fighting, so I don't really do the PVE in
yeah,
PvP, PvE sort of stuff, raid stuff like that in Pokemon. But when I see a Pokemon on there that looks cool, I'm like, oh yeah, catch it, bang, done, right, moving on.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. As much as I just said it's a love-hate relationship, Pokemon Go did like rekindle my like relationship with Pokemon. Because when did it come out? About 2015, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when I started like that's when I started high school, so I didn't have as much time for watching like shows before school and stuff anymore. So I kind of stopped paying attention to Pokemon. So then when Pokemon Go came out, I played on the bus to and from school. So that really kept my like love for Pokemon going, which I'm really like kind of thankful for because right now that's like half my personality is knowing every single Pokemon off by heart.
I
So
don't think I could do it.
so as soppy as to say, I generally don't know what type of person I'd be if I wasn't still into it because like I said, it makes up most of who I am, but I am into it. Because like if I'd never got into if I never stayed with Pokemon, I don't know what type of thing I'd replace Pokemon with.
I
Might
don't
be
actually
smoking
know.
e-cigs like some people, but
Yeah,
like some people. Not to name shame again.
it's not me this time. I promise.
You promise, yeah.
Yeah,
Lying to the listeners, are you?
yeah, right. Anyway, moving on. Um, so yeah, with Pokemon, I really enjoy it. Like if there's ever a Pokemon discussion, if there's anything I understand, I'll jump in. I'll be like, yeah, I know this. And if there's anything I don't understand, I'll ask questions because that's why I feel like I'll obviously get better at it, like I did with Marvel Snap or Overwatch. I take feedback or take information in or stuff like that. That's why I like to talk about stuff. That's why I like doing this podcast. I like reviewing movies, and that's why I want to be a journalist when I grow up. Because
When you
obviously,
grow up, lad, you're a young adult. You already are grown up.
well,
You're already doing the steps to become a journalist. You're
when I've
doing it
left
during these
college,
podcasts.
when I've left college, that's my next play. If I don't find anything more interesting,
What
but
type of thing can you do after this course for your journalism?
I haven't looked thoroughly into it, but I do know that I should take a journalism degree. But I have asked our progress leader, I think his name, no, it's course leader. Sorry, I'm used to high school stuff. But I've asked him if we could do something journalism related, and I think he said yeah. I don't remember.
He's always taken on board like how to improve the course. He's one of the best people on the planet.
Shout out
If
to you,
he's if he's
Enzo. Shout out to
if he's
you.
listening this far, he knows who he is. He's one of the like nicest people within Barnsley, and yeah, he'll take on anything on board to increase the cost for the people involved. He honestly cares about the students more than he does his own like life. I feel.
We absolutely love Enzo. He's helped us out. Like I thought going into college, I'd be so worried. I'd be like, oh, I really just do not want to do this. I was so scared going into it, making friends and stuff like that. Enzo came in, rocked up, done his dance, done his whatnot and stuff like that, and I'm
Walked in
like,
with that smile he never loses.
exactly, yeah. And it is absolutely just. He takes it away. He does his teaching in a way that I don't think anyone's ever done
That's
for us.
that's the reason I like the college environment so much is that they don't treat you like kids anymore. They treat you like that you should be.
Yeah,
Because like if you go look back to how you was in year 11, you're literally like 16 years old, yet they're treating you like you're a year 7, like you're about
yeah,
like 12. But when as soon as you hit college, like you can go in dressed as how you want, you can be who you want. Like the teachers respect you and like they don't baby everything down for you. They kind of give you constructed criticism, but not in a way that'll make you hate yourself like high school.
yeah. That's my problem. In high school, I couldn't really wear what I want. It was like strict uniform. So now that obviously I'm working, I've got a uniform there. I'm used to uniforms. So obviously the esports stuff, I can't wear it all the time because it'll just get like dirty and stuff like that. And I just don't really want to wear it all the time. So trying to find a fashion sense in 2023 is difficult because I don't know what my fashion sense is. It's trackies and a t-shirt, and I'm sorted for the day, and that is it.
I don't know what mine is either. Mine's just joggers, random
You've
coloured
got a
hoodie.
good like sort of fashion sense. You look good when you come in. I don't. You match your clothes. I don't. Like I could come in a blue joggers,
Blue joggy.
and then I don't know, a bloody black t-shirt, and it just wouldn't match. I'd just look odd all the time. And
You do like your polo shirts though, or
I
what,
like
like
my
actual
polo
just shirts?
shirts. Yeah, they're my favorite because
You're either coming wearing a polo shirt or you're coming wearing a Overwatch Hanzo jacket. It's like
I've
you've
wore
got
that
you like
once.
Jack,
Shut up! I've wore that
you like
once.
you like Jekyll and Hyde of how you dress.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know
not
who
sure
that
which is
is.
the Hyde.
I don't know what that is.
You didn't do Jekyll and Hyde in high school?
No, I did Of Mice and Men.
I did. Wait. What books did you have to cover in high school?
As in year 11 books.
In year
So
11
we
exam
did
books.
Christmas Carol, Of
Huh?
Mice and Men, and there was another one I can't remember.
Romeo and Juliet?
Nope.
What?
Oh
I
no,
almost swore then because I'm actually that disbelief.
it was sorry, year 9 it was To Kill a Mockingbird, but my main two
I did
books
that
was
as well.
Of Mice and Men, and wait, was it Of Mice and Men?
We did Mice and Men in, well, I didn't because I missed those, like, I missed a week. We did a Mice and Men in, like, year 10.
It
But,
wasn't.
like, the main focus was, um, oh, what's it called?
It was
Detective Calls, what? Oh,
Inspector
Inspector
Calls.
Calls.
Yeah,
Inspector Calls and Romeo and
they've
Juliet.
as soon as I left, they implemented Inspector Calls. So the year 10s were then doing Inspector Calls, but
I
we
missed one
did.
day and they had an Inspector Calls play going on at school.
I forgot what it's called.
They got people in to do, like, the entire book of Inspector Calls, like, in front of us in the hall, and I missed that day. And I'm actually so upset because that
Oh,
Inspector Calls is the only bus book I actually liked. But you
it,
didn't do Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
no, I did. There was like a group of kids that go on an island from a plane crash. I forgot what it's called.
I don't know. I've not covered that.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look that
Um,
up. 1 second.
but
Uh,
with Jekyll and Hyde, like even though I failed my English in high school, I still remember the quotes they forced into our brains, like of Jack from Jekyll and Hyde and stuff like ape-like fury, where
Lord of
Hyde
the Flies.
tramples. I've heard of that title, not no, not familiar with it though. Where Hyde tramples is it's either a woman or a little girl, when it's like described as ape-like fury, and I'm like, "Ugh, why? I shouldn't remember. I should have been remembered like 4 years later.
Yeah. There was certain quotes that I was supposed to remember. There was like so it was really violent because these boys are like 10ish, stuff like that. They're on an abandoned island with no help, so they have to survive. And obviously, you've got your childish like environment with like
Mm.
the little ones and then the teenagers that think they're the all almighty. So it was like there's a quote that I remember. It was like "Shut up, fatty." That was one of them. I
Jesus.
won't say the other ones because they're very like they swear quite a lot. But yeah, we learnt that in high school. But there's one of the quotes, and then in Christmas Carol, there's one quote that I remember because my mum puts the Christmas Carol on every Christmas, and it scarred me for life because I just hate Christmas Carol now. I used to love it. Now it's the Grinch. I love
Which
the
one?
Grinch Christmas
Christmas
Carol.
Carol. Oh, pardon me.
With
Which is
Scrooge,
Christmas Carol?
Scrooge and the
Screw.
Ghost.
Ah, right.
But it's like the one quote that I remember, and it stuck with me. Not because it means anything; it's just engraved in my mind. It's something called like the chains I forged in life, which basically is a resemblance. It resembles basically you do something in your past, you carry this burden or whatever it is until you die. So that sort of did kind of stick with me on a mental side, but yeah, it's some of the yeah. But
I'm just still surprised you didn't do the same like stuff as I did though.
no,
It's
I
weird
don't
how
know.
different schools like do completely
To be
different things.
fair, you did leave 2 years.
Yeah, I did finish school 2 years before you, so they might have changed it for because my brother's now sitting his GCSEs, well, just sat 'em. I wonder if he's doing the same type of like literature you had to do.
No, he wouldn't be.
But
He in ours because COVID came around, we got poetry taken out. We did a little bit of poetry.
you look it.
We did a little bit, but we got most of it taken out. Like the
I hate you
unseen
for that.
poetry, and then the 18 poems that you had to remember or something like that. We got that all taken
The
out.
anthology.
That's it, anthology. And then because I did so many different courses in school, so I did like not courses, subjects. I did computer science, film studies, history, and obviously maths, English, science. Um, but the one that I took away the most was history. I'm such a history nerd, as you've heard when I talked about Oppenheimer.
I got
Um,
forced to I got forced to drop out of history.
I was the top student there, and I got the lowest rank in the lowest ranked uh grade
For his
in the
bottom
entire.
500.
I actually was like I was so disheartened from it. I have a video of when I opened my results, and my head just dropped because I was expected to get a 7 or something like that, and I got like a 3, and I was like,
Jesus.
"What happened?" I swear I remembered it
What
all
happened?
because I had to remember like the 80s and the 80s I love, which I probably got that right, and then there's like medicine and stuff like that. But yeah, that's everything I did in school. But the one thing I'm really surprised I passed was computer science. I absolutely hated
I
coding,
That's another
hated
one I
it.
got forced to kick drop.
I didn't get forced to drop it at all because I was decent at it, but I was sat with in a class with like a bunch of people that knew what they were doing, and I was like, "What do I do for this one?" Because we had to do like coding on Python, and it's just like you have to do. I don't remember it now because I couldn't write on
Did you
Python
have to do
now.
the Hello World coding?
Yeah, yeah, it's still
Oh, that
like
was
basic stuff
awful.
like that. But then we had to do like embedded calculators and stuff like that. It's like so weird and random, but yeah. Um,
I'm happy I got forced to drop that though, because then at dropping that I had to choose either geography or health and well-being, and I chose health and well-being, and that's probably like the best choice I've ever made because I came out of high school with that being my highest grade, being a distinction 2 or a distinction 1. I
yeah,
can't remember which one's higher or low, but I got the lower of the distinctions. I'm not even gonna try and nice myself, and that's like one of the best subjects I've ever sat. It's because health and well-being is such like a female dominated type of course.
yeah,
So you didn't have all like the proper annoying like teenage lads who think they're all that talking and stuff like that. It's just full of like people who are actually normal, nice people.
yeah.
So it was, and I came out of it like with like a decent grade and stuff, and now that's something I'm kind of embedding into my university in September. So it's one of the best choices I've ever made after being forced to drop a subject that I originally liked, but I was just bad at it.
It's it's difficult when you've proper like put your all in all into it and you just come out and failed. It it's
That was that was me with every like exam though. I I barely passed art, even though after I forced to drop history, I got forced to take double art because they had no other subjects available at that point in the year.
yeah,
Because it was like about a month before I sat my GCSEs, which I didn't even sit anyways because COVID kind of just stopped me from sitting exams, so I went off mock grades,
yeah,
which was not good for me because in my English mock I fell asleep because I just didn't want to do it, so I just went to sleep. So in my actual grade I got a 2,
yeah. Is that why you
which is
had
not
to
good. But
yeah, you had to retake it,
yeah, I
yeah.
had to redo it then because I just didn't pay attention in year 11. It took me 3 years to pass English because I just didn't pay attention, didn't have any information about how to complete the things. But Barnsley College came in clutch and helped me pass it.
Yeah.
Um,
One last question before we move on because we're getting sidetracked again from Pokemon. Um, but
Listen,
did you have to
more
take
stuff
a
to talk about.
language?
Language. I had the option, but I refused.
I um I got dropped from Spanish. Uh,
I dropped Spanish myself. That's something I dropped by myself.
I got forced, and that's probably why I passed English because I got double English basically. So I had like 3 or 4 lessons of English, and then I had these all my English teachers. I've got to give it all to them. They are absolutely amazing. I've still got like a note because they get one of my English teachers wrote each student like a little note. Um, and obviously I was working at the time, so it was like trying to help me out and stuff like that. I've got like a little note that says like "well done" stuff like this. Thanks for being an incredible student, stuff like that. But this one thing stuck with me because they helped me out like so much. Because with me being a bit dyslexic and stuff like that, can't even say a bit being dyslexic. Um, it sort of stuck with me because they were there to help me out rather than it's like they didn't care about the paycheck. They sort of cared about the students, my English
Yeah,
teachers.
that makes a good teacher. One
Um,
of the reasons why I want to teach in when I've passed uni, I kind of just want to push people through education because I know I struggled so bad in
yeah,
education. I kind of want to help the people who also struggle who didn't kind of get the opportunity of help like I did in high school. Because I struggled throughout the entirety of high school, but I just did not get the help I needed,
yeah. But
and it really showed in my exams.
it all goes out to my English teachers. If they are listening, hello. Um, but I honestly owe them like the world because it makes me sad talking about it because I've left for like a year now. But they honestly went above and beyond for me, and I couldn't do it. Couldn't say enough.
Same
Um,
here though for my English teacher. I did absolutely nothing in her lessons, but I know how hard she was trying to help me like
Yeah,
progress, and I just couldn't take information in. So as much as I didn't do the work, I honestly appreciate so much what that English teacher did for me. And when I go to the teacher parent talk thing, I forgot what it's actually called, with one of my
parents'
younger brothers
evening.
do it. Parents' evening. When I go to the parents' evening with my younger brothers and my parents, just because I go as well, because I just want to see the old members of staff who I enjoy talking to, and like I actually owe my life to at this point in life.
That's why I wish I could, cause I don't have any
Yeah,
younger
I'm
siblings.
lucky enough to that my youngest is still in high school, and it's only in year it's going into year 9 now, so that means I've got like another 2 years of being able to see as members of staff.
But
And
yeah,
my mum told my English teacher that I passed my English this year, and my English teacher was like generally like so proud of me. I was like, oh my god.
yeah,
And it was actually one of the most heartwarming things to actually see that the teacher who I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about for about 2 years. She still remembers who I am and the fact that I struggled, and she's actually like proud that I passed it. And I was like, oh well, that's actually amazing. That's really meaningful to me.
I feel like if I went back, I feel like some of them would remember, some of them won't. I in year seven, I used to have this progress leader called, I don't remember the name actually.
I
But
think we're not allowed to state names anyway at the moment, like
oh yeah,
on podcasts, so it don't
I,
really matter if you remember.
I don't remember the name. But she used to take me out of lessons just to help, because I don't think I had a bad mental state. I don't think I had like how you see people now with like depression and stuff like that. Obviously, you've got your sad times, but then there's times where you just like you don't really want to do out. And then this
Yeah.
one teacher proper helped me. But yeah, we got to move on because that's in the past, and we're getting sidetracked from a movie and gaming
I don't know.
podcast.
I mean, yeah, but it's a movie and game podcast, but still, other people can kind of relate to the stories we're kind of like going off track about. So I feel like it's not as bad as it looks on paper that we're getting sidetracked by stuff like this.
Yeah,
Because like for people who are like possibly older watching this, like who left high school years ago, like they hearing this, they could probably go, oh yeah, and then they probably start thinking about it themselves and stuff. So I feel like it's not too bad that we're getting sidetracked every so often.
yeah. All right, if we're getting sidetracked, we might as well run with it then. All right, we'll stick with it for a bit. Um, but yeah,
I mean, how long we've been running for now? I'm looking at the time, and it's been going on for quite a long time. This is like a proper power episode.
this is gonna be a special episode then because we've got a lot
Yeah,
to talk about.
we're one person down, so we're making up for it in time.
Yeah. So we're an hour and 20 minutes right now. Uh,
Let's Okay, well, let's try and go for like another 25 because we've
yeah,
still got the top. We need to do our top five list still,
yeah. So we'll take for about another 5 minutes on
and
whatever
then
our
spend
other
10 on
thing.
each list.
Yeah. Uh,
Right, that's fine.
so speaking of school, then, your funniest like memory that you've had,
Ooh,
ever in school.
my funniest memory is in year 8 drama. I did not pay attention in drama at all. It's one of those
Oh, me
subjects I
neither.
just did not feel comfortable doing at all.
Yeah.
Um, I was one of those quiet kids who didn't speak much, so having to stand up and do drama stuff, no, not me. But I was like with my group of mates, like about 6, 7 of us sat in corner who also like me, who didn't really like doing it. We were sat there having a laugh as like by ourselves and stuff like that. And for whatever reason, I stood up, started doing the like anime run, spun around in a circle and ran into a metal box and just it just went boom. Everybody in the room just turned around and looked at me. I was like, and everybody was looking like, what is he actually? That kid is actually so weird. I'm sat there just crying, laughing on the floor, all my mates were sat there also just like, oh my god, what's he actually just done? And I was just sat there like proper belly laughing, so I just masturbating against a metal box,
How do you even
and it just
manage that though?
gong. I spun around in a circle. I didn't realize what direction I was going. Anime ran forwards into a box. It just sounded like somebody hit a gong.
Bloody
It
hell.
was so loud.
Uh,
What would you say yours is?
I've got quite a few. Um, try and think of the best one. Okay. So this is I'll do a drama one like you have. So I was in year eight. I did drama.
Did you take drama or not?
No, 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 no.
Okay, good. You're not like
I'm glad I
previous
didn't.
guest Harrison
Yeah,
Richardson.
I'm glad I didn't. Cause I get stage fright like a lot.
Yeah,
which is
I
something
see that.
esports has helped me with. So thanks again, Enzo.
Big up Enzo.
But yeah, in drama, year eight, there was this play getting like I can't remember auditions for, uh,
Yeah.
and I had never ever performed at all. So I went in because I signed up for it, thinking, oh, I'll have a laugh. People will come and see me and have a laugh because I like to like make my friends laugh. Um, I obviously don't do a good job of it anymore because you guys
No,
are
we
all
don't laugh.
dead
We don't
souls.
laugh. We don't laugh because of what you're like choosing to do. We laugh because of what you choose not to do.
Yeah.
We laugh at you with against your will.
All right, Moira. Uh,
Oh, shut up! Don't call
but
me Ginger.
but yeah, I was in drama. I went to do this performance. I went in, and I there was like four people sat in front of me, and I had this script to read, and I was supposed to memorize it. I didn't. So
You're dyslexic. Why would you have a script to read? You surely have
I
like an audiobook.
shut up. So I was sat there stumbling my words all the time, and I thought, oh, the best thing I could probably do is just walk around. So I'm just stood there walking around the room reading my lines. I'm
Oh
just stood
God,
there for about 5 minutes reading my lines until, yeah, you can tell I didn't get that. I didn't get that
really?
part. I didn't.
No, I don't believe that.
I didn't know. But another thing is I wasn't actually in high school at the time. My sister was. And I went to see a performance, uh, and someone sung this song that I was trying to find for the past, what year is it now? 2023. 10 years.
Yeah.
2013 I tried to find this song and I found it a couple of months ago.
What's the song?
I don't
Reveal
remember
it
what
to
it's
us.
called. I think it's
What?
called Ghosts. Let me just have a check. Just I'm pretty sure it's Ghosts. Let
Oh,
me
just real quick
check.
whilst you're finding that. Going back to me mentioning Harrison's name. If people are still watching this far in, how do you think? How do you feel about people, guest speakers coming on, like Harrison, talking about different subjects he knows more about than us?
Yeah,
Just let us know if you want more guests to appear.
we have a few in mind for the next stuff coming up. So just
Yeah. So just
let
any
us know if you
feedback
like
will
it.
help.
It's not called Ghost. It's called Clown by
Close enough.
Amelia Sandy.
I've
Um,
never heard that title or that person.
but yeah, they sung it. I was trying to find it for the longest time, and it's just the fact that it took me 10 years is what's funny about it. Um,
Jesus.
my best memory in high school is probably when I got my head smashed against a wall in maths.
That I think you just messed up saying the word worst and said best by accident.
No. It was funny because we were all messing about in the back of the classroom while I was trying to do my work, and I'd accidentally nudged this person next to me. We were
Oh
mates and
my.
everything. We were mates. So she just turns to me. She just pushes me. My head hits the wall, and I'm sat there for like 5 minutes in a concussion.
Why is that both our best memories, both of us hitting our heads on something?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think us hitting our heads is the reason why we can't think of a good memory. I think we've just
Yeah.
lost all of the memories.
I can't actually remember much that I did in high school. I just remember the certain stories and stuff like that. Did you have that
Well,
one teacher that told you your entire life story?
told you that like their entire life story.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, I was going to mention him earlier. When I go to my brother's parents' evening, well, last time I went, the only teacher like reached out and like spoke to me. Like before I even spoke to my brother, he looked at me and went, "I remember you, don't I?" I went, "Yeah, you do." And from science, he used to sit up front and he spoke to me for ages before even talking to my brother, even though it's his parents' evening.
yeah,
And I was like, "Oh my God, I love this guy." But in lessons, he'd tell us his life story, but then relate it to science. Like he said that what about like a wedding, I can't remember if it was his own or his friends or whatever. He put a balloon in the back of a car, and when he came back, so the balloon was deflated because of a certain scientific term.
oh
But it's
god,
just an excuse for him to tell us his life story in a way because he likes talking.
yeah,
Like he's a like not in a bad way. He's just a very talkative person, but he can talk about his life, but then teach us certain things because of it. And I think he's one of the best people in in high school because of it. Like all science teachers were really nice. My form tutor in year 11 was a science teacher, and I think I still to this day think he's the best staff member in that place.
So my teacher, so she went through a bad breakup with her partner. So she just it wasn't a bad breakup from what I remember. It was sort of a mutual breakup. So she and her partner was like going out to a party, and her partner went off with another woman. Um, so she'd just come in, tell us all about it, and how she thought that her partner was I don't remember what it was. Yeah, she just ranted about how her partner was like not good for her, stuff like that. Uh, and then she'd tell the entire class about it all, and we just didn't need to know. She wouldn't relate it to lesson or anything, but it's just the fact that she'd tell us all. She probably did it with her all over class, but classes. Uh, but it was like extra English, so it wasn't really uh, a needed lesson. So we just sort of mess
Yeah,
about in it. But yeah, it was quite funny just to hear her tell us about her partner and stuff like that.
yeah.
And the fact that she was like, the sort of stereotypical, I forgot what they're called. Uh, I don't know whether I'm allowed to say it. The
Um,
stereotypical lesbians. I don't know whether I'm allowed to say that.
there's two stereotypes what comes to mind
So
when
it's like the masculine type.
oh yeah yeah I
Yeah.
think that's a bad thing to say. I don't think
I don't know whether it's deemed as something, but yeah, we'll see. I'll search it up.
more masculine type
Yeah.
lesbians.
So
Yeah.
my English teacher was the masculine lesbian in that relationship. So she'd come in, she'd be dressed in like tomboy clothes, stuff like that. Uh, and she'd just rant to us, and it'd be like we'd understand it because all the people in this class were primarily men, so we'd understand. And then the women that were in there were like, "What? I don't really understand." But that's something that I took away because it was quite funny. If
Yeah,
you were in
it
the
sounds like
moment, you'd be
yeah, it
funny.
sounds like if you were there, it'd be like one of those like moments like, oh my God, I can't wait to be in that lesson again because
Yeah,
she'll have another story to tell us. Yeah, I feel like that'd be something I'd look forward to having that lesson,
but yeah,
which is very rare for me in school.
it's been. I was a goody two shoes uh in high school.
I was not. If like a teacher just well, if I didn't agree with a teacher, I just made it obvious. I just like in media, my teacher like I just watched anime in lesson all the time. I'm not gonna lie. Like I had media on every Wednesday, and at that time of lesson, every Wednesday, a new episode of Attack on Titan came out. I was like, before I do any work, I'm gonna watch this. And she'd come over. I was like, you shouldn't be watching that. That's not related to the work. I said, yeah, but I'm just gonna watch it anyways. And oh, it was. And then if like a teacher took me out of lesson saying, "Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that work," so I'd just get on it and say, "Well, if I need to do that work, you need to teach me that work. Because apparently you don't teach it well, and if I've not done it already."
Yeah.
And I made it clear my opinions.
I did have the occasional detention for not handing in homework or forgetting a PE kit or something like that. But
I purposely did bring my PE kit, and I just didn't want to do PE. So I think like every week for about 2 years, I made my dad write a note in my in my planner to say I'm not doing PE that week.
yeah.
And that went for about 2 years, and the teacher just gave up trying to, okay, oh, I don't believe you're rude. They just gave up because I just brought a new note in every week.
But yeah, we've been on this topic for an extra 10 minutes, so yeah, we'll
Yeah,
move
we,
on.
we should finally move on because otherwise it's gonna be like a 2 hour episode.
Yeah. So we're gonna go into top five games.
And
Uh,
then after we'll do top five films.
yeah, and your reasons why. So, do you want to start or should I start?
I feel like we should like relay. So I'd do like I feel like go five backwards. We go from five up to our number one spot,
Okay. Okay.
and then you say yours, I'll say mine. You say your fourth, I'll say my fourth, and so on.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you lead. What's your fifth favorite game?
Overwatch. Uh,
Down at fifth.
down at fifth. Yes. There is a bunch of other games that are probably better. The only reason I've put Overwatch so low is because we're not getting the stuff that we're promised. We're not
Yeah,
getting
I
the stuff
agree.
that we've sort of looked forward to. And there's not been much content pumped into the game other than this invasion season. Uh,
Pardon me.
it is quite a good game, so that's why it's in my top five because obviously I enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it before college, but now that I've found people that actually like enjoy it with me or can stand it with me, I feel like it's something that it's not really a favorite game. I can't tell. It's a favorite game that I've chose because I like it because people like it. If you get me,
Yeah.
yeah. What about you?
My fifth favorite game would have to just be Minecraft
All right, I see that.
because it's a game what I've grown up with like since I was about 10. It's a game what's like just completely followed me through life. I always go back to it. It's never a game I've really just like gone, oh yeah, I'm not gonna play that game anymore. I'll uninstall it. It's always a game I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not interested in playing it right now, but I know I will be in about 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So like, I always go back to it, and I love building stuff in creative mode. I don't like playing survival often. As you can tell from like what we've been doing. Oh, goodbye voice. As you can tell what we've been doing recently on like on your creative world you've set up for me.
yeah,
I just spend hours on that, just building Pokemon, just not even for anything productive, just for the sake of building it. And that's been a thing I've done for about 4 years. I've got on my Xbox, I've got a world just called Pixel Art V2 because my original world got corrupted
yeah,
for whatever reason, which I actually cried about. It was a world I spent about 15 hours on, like of gameplay, and it just went, nah, in a bit and got
Cinnabon.
corrupted. So I made a V2 world, and I think I've spent about like on honestly 100 hours plus on that world, and it's just full of like pixel by pixel, like perfect like scenes from films and stuff like that. And then like I built like a 3D pixel art Pokeball of like the Minecraft block pixels. I was like, yeah, I spent a lot of time on this world. I'm sad I can't transfer it over to show you on PC, but
Yeah,
that's the reason why it's number five. It's just one of those games that'll never get old for me. But sadly, it's just other games that top it
I
when it comes
agree
to
with that,
nostalgia.
but I also only play survival. But I don't agree with it being your top five. But that's my list. I'd say it's in my top
Perfectly
10.
balanced, as all things should be.
Yeah.
You survival, I'm creative.
I'll let you lead with your fourth, and then I'll do mine.
My fourth. Right. My number four is my top Call of Duty game of all time.
I know
It
what this
is
is.
Modern Warfare 3.
No, I didn't. I didn't know what it was.
It's Modern Warfare 3,
Really?
which you probably thought I was going to say Black Ops 3,
I did.
but that's I'll get into that later. Bit of a hint. Um, Modern Warfare 3 is my favorite Call of Duty game, is because once again nostalgia. I play in the special ops mode of that game, where you go against like waves of like actual like people with guns and stuff rather than zombies.
Yeah.
That was like go-to thing to play every single day for hours on end. Just not even trying to get high rounds, just trying to like get into funny spots, get on top of the plane and terminal, like against them. It's until obviously attack helicopters appear, then I get mowed down as if I'm nothing. But I just love that game. I love the weapons in the game. I the gold that gold camo in that game is the best one I think it's ever been, and I can't not like that game. As soon as I saw it in CEX for about 50 pence, is how much it goes for,
Something like that.
or
Yeah.
50 pence to £1.50, something like that. I was like, I've got to buy this because it's the first ever Call of Duty game I played, and it will always be in my brain because of that, because how much I enjoyed it.
Okay.
If the server was alive, I'd still play it. That's the reason why I'm kind of thinking about getting the new Call of Duty, but
For multiplayer, this isn't in my list, but for multiplayer, I want to say Advanced Warfare, just because of one
advanced.
gun. Just because of one gun. It's called the BAL.
I
Um,
don't know what you're talking about. I didn't play that game.
but it's the first COD that added exosuits. But I didn't
Yeah.
like
Oh,
it
yeah.
because of exosuits. I liked it because of the guns that were in there.
Yeah. I see that. The exosuits in Advanced and Infinite Warfare are really weird, weren't they?
I don't think it's in. Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's just rather than exo, it's kind of just like a prolonged double jump,
yeah.
which I wasn't really a fan of.
I enjoyed it though. I used to play it. I used to nick it off my sister because she used to play COD. But yeah, my number four spot is Life is Strange: True Colors
Let's go.
because it actually took over like some of my spots because it was such a enjoyable game. Um, I really enjoy it. I like aesthetically pleasing games. It's just something I enjoy. I like any game that looks good, which will be entailed from my next couple of games.
Right, that's fair enough.
Yep,
I'll let you go with three. We'll do the same thing. You can lead with
yeah.
three.
So my number three spot is Tales from the Borderlands.
Oh,
Now
I suspect that was going to be on your list somewhere.
that is not because of looks, it's because of the characters and the emotional attachment you get to certain characters and the way the entire story is played out and the choices that you can make, and just all in out, like, just enjoyability of the game. I feel like the other Borderline games, like the basic ones, like Borderlands 2, 3, sorry, 1, 2, and 3, um, are like not as good as like the Tales from the Borderlands 1 and 2. But if I had to choose between 1 and 2, I'd probably choose 2, just because of the graphics. It looks better, but the characters are also much funnier because it's grew in time, because it's taken a while to make. Uh, but yeah, that's it. Tales from the Borderlands 2, probably my favourite. Borderlands
That's
1 is
I don't
OG.
think I'll ever play a Borderlands game, but I kind of respect your opinion on it.
Yeah,
My third favorite game is what you was expecting for my fourth. It's Black Ops 3.
yeah, let's go.
Black Ops 3 is just a perfect Call of Duty game for me. I know people don't like exosuits, and I think it kind of, ruins the game. A lot of people think that,
Yeah,
and they prefer the boots on ground games. But I think the exosuits are the perfect, perfect addition to Call of Duty when it reached its futuristic arc. And then they introduced all the different separate specialists, where it being like Outrider and Spectre, where they all have different weapons and like abilities and stuff.
yeah,
I think that added so much more character into the game, added more variety in what you played. Because in not previous Call of Duties, it's like, oh yeah, I play this gun, I use this one gun, so that means I played a certain play style.
yeah,
But then in Black Ops 3, you can play a certain character with a certain gun, which then adds an extra sense of like personality to your play style. Like, because there's a difference between running like the VMP with a Spectre than it is a
yeah,
VMP with like the um, Outrider again, because of how different those characters are. So I just like the different, like the variety of characters and stuff, and the actual weapons. And the DLC weapons in that game, they brought back the Peacekeeper.
yeah.
I never really used the Peacekeeper when it first dropped in, what was it,
Black
Black
Ops
Ops
2.
2 it came. I didn't play Black Ops 2, but I got the Peacekeeper Mark 2 in Black Ops 3 as a DLC weapon, and that I got it literally like max camoed like within the first like 3 hours of getting it. I just grinded that stuff off instantly,
Oh my god.
and like I wish Black Ops 3 was more popular these days when it comes to like servers, but my entire high school experience was playing Black Ops 3. Me and my best mate at the time, I'd sleep at his house like every weekend. I stayed at his house for an entire summer holiday,
Yeah.
and we just grinded that game out. I got Prestige Master after my account got reset 3 times.
Oh my
So
god.
I hit Prestige 4 about 3 or 4 times, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make sure this account details is all backed up, and then so I got Prestige Master on the account. I made sure was actually secure, and I still use that account to this day. The account I made at my friend's house. I didn't even have an Xbox at the time, and I made an account before I even had an Xbox, and I think I hit Prestige 6 on a game before I even owned a console. So it was
What?
just that's how much time I spent at that house. I spent that much time sleeping at that house. I hit Prestige 6 on Black Ops 3 before even owning console myself.
That is. That is. What? That is. Alright.
That's how much I am drawn to Black Ops 3. It's perfect. It's so fast paced, so rapid. The EXO, the different characters. It's just everything's happening at once. It's so chaotic, and I love it.
The multiplayer for me wasn't the best because obviously I like Infinity
The zombies is good.
Advanced Warfare.
I was saying advanced. You're not that posh, man.
Advanced Warfare. There you go. But the
Um,
zombies for me really carried that game
the
for me.
zombies is amazing. I'm just not a zombies player. If I was like similar to Minecraft, I don't like survival type game modes. So playing zombies where it's literally you survive or die is just not my, cup of tea, but I do appreciate how good the zombies mode is.
So I'm a bit diverse from these two. If that can be used in that sentence. Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, those are my best, well, favorite zombie games. Black Ops 2, And Advanced Warfare is my favorite
Advanced.
multiplayer. But my top zombies is Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1. But if I had to choose one map, and one map at all, what do you think it'd be?
Or just out of any Call of Duties.
Out of Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3.
Um, hmm. I'm just gonna say Revelations because what you said earlier.
No.
Oh, damn it! You said it's a really good map outside
It
the
is a
cinema
really
this
good
morning.
it is a really good map. I agree with that. It is in my top 5, but
Good, good, good.
my all-time favorite map is either Horizon Drac or Buried
Horizon. Oh, I should
or
have guessed
Origins.
Horizon.
Top 3 maps, Buried, Horizon Drac and uh Origins. Origins because it's such an OG map and it got remade and it just looks amazing and I know how to play it. Horizon Drac because I can tell you the Easter egg right now, right here. And Buried because it was one of them maps that I was like, right, this is fun. This is where I actually enjoy zombies. This is where I'm getting into it. This is something that I want to play for a long time. And now that they're sort of taking out round base for like the new multiplayer for the new COD that's coming out, it's kind of drawn me out of zombies. So I probably won't play it until round base is back. But we'll have to see. I'm thinking about getting Modern Warfare 3 though.
I am also thinking about it because, like I said, I grew up in Modern Warfare 3. I want to see how the revamped version is.
Yeah, it won't be as good as the OG though.
It will never be as good as the OG, even though it was like made so long ago. The graphics on that is just perfect for its time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's literally got well, like lifeless what's it called? When it's like the graphics, even though even though they're so bad compared to what they are like now, it still looks amazing. I can't remember the phrases though.
I don't know what it is, but it's like it's made for the time. It's like
It's perfect for the time, but
yeah,
it's timeless graphics.
yeah,
It's even though it does not compare even slightly to recent games, it still looks perfect for what the product is, and it's still a game I'd go back to any time.
yeah. All right, so
Right,
I'll let you
number two
lead in number
spots.
2.
My number two would be Overwatch.
Okay.
Uh, obvious reasons. Overwatch is a game I've fallen in love with for the past 6 years.
Yeah.
Got it for my birthday in 2016, and I think I've been 2016, 2017. I can't do maths right now. It's 12:30 as we're recording this at night.
Yeah.
Um, I've been playing it non-stop for the past however years, 6, 7 years. I Even though I never got high rank when I first started playing it for the first like 5 years, I only hit like diamond rank at the end of Overwatch 1's lifespan. I I enjoyed the game so much. All the characters are so diverse, and each person like for the same reason I like Black Ops 3, all the characters are so different to the point where everybody's different with how they play the game.
Yeah.
Like even with like certain characters, like this character Ash who can be long range and short range, two different people can play her at absolute sniping range, or somebody can play her really close up. Like the diversity in how you can play the game is so vast. I think it just makes it a really enjoyable game for anybody who plays it. It does get angering. It's a very anger-inducing
It
game.
is.
I'm not going to deny that. I've said some stuff that I wish I wouldn't have done, but that's a different story. And it's but overall opinion on Overwatch is that it's my second favorite game of all time because even if I don't like how the developers are treating us as the community, but even though I disagree with everything they're doing, I'm not going to stop playing it. I'm going to spend money on it when I need to and stuff like that. It's just
Yeah.
I'm addicted to the game, and, like, and I'm not even going to deny that's a bad thing. But I'm how addicted I am to it.
There has been stages where I got like bored of it. Like when it first came out, I wasn't straight on it because I didn't really know much about it. So my cousin bought it, played it. I went to his, and he showed me, and I was like, "Oh, this game is actually sick! I can't wait to get it and play it." So it was about 2018, 2017 when I actually got into it. So I think I got it when. Oh, who got released? I think it might have been Echo.
I think Echo was released like 2019, was she not?
No,
I
I'm
think she was like 2020
Oh
release.
no, I would have had it then. Sorry. No, I got it in 2017, 2018, one of them. But I remember going to his house when Echo was first released, or Baptiste, whichever one it was. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and then Doomfist got released. And I hated him. Uh, just just because I didn't know how to use him, and that's why I don't have the much enjoyment as you did. as you do. Sorry, because I don't know how to
Yeah.
play the characters fully. I know a certain amount of how to play it because I'm primarily based off support, so I know how to play the supports. You know how to play everything, but I'm trying to
Yeah. In
expand it now.
in 2018 was Brigitte, Wrecking Ball, and Ash.
Yeah,
Baptiste was 2019, the hero, first hero of 2019.
but it's just it's one of them things where you're either good at it or you're bad at it. You're either mildly uh, good at it and you're a little bit bad at it. But I don't know how to explain it properly. You're either good or you're bad. Simple.
Yeah. You either
Um,
get it or you don't.
yeah. And in which case, I don't get it for most of it. Like I know how to play the game. I could play it to a decent level.
There's just so much you need to know about the game at the same
Yeah.
time. You've got to track ultimates, you've got to track abilities, you've got to know where health packs are, you've got to know who your team could play, how to counter that team, and it's such a confusing game. But if once you play for about a month, you know exactly what's supposed to happen.
Oh yeah. I need to get back on my ult. What's it called? Or ability cooldown thing.
Yeah,
Tracking.
you've got good uh good mechanics of the game, but I feel like you struggle when it comes to tracking ultimates and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel
If
like you
you
struggle making splits like second decisions.
yeah. If you had to give a rank to each other, what would you say?
You just want to say you deserve a high rank, don't you?
Yes, because I do not deserve silver.
I'll give you plat 5
All right, good. What about
with a
support?
peak of plat 3.
What about support?
I'd say about gold for 2.
You honestly think I'm a better DPS than support now?
As of recent, you've not played support in long enough to actually know how to play support in the recent metas because you've just not been playing support. The meta's changed completely from when you used to play support like mainly.
All right.
It's a completely different game now.
I'd give you diamond across the board. I reckon.
I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
I'd say I'd give you diamond across the board. From your playstyle, if you can get a full team that actually know what they're doing, so like like the Overwatch team sort of know what they're doing. Some of them, um, that's
That
not
seems
that.
targeted.
No, that's not targeted. No, sorry. If some of them don't know much, like I'm not gonna name names, but there was a
There is
Juggernaut player.
a rank diversity across the Overwatch members,
Yeah,
which it's when we all play as one, we all kind of like link our brains together and like, oh yeah, this needs to happen, this needs to do this. But some people who
can't
were
really play
playing, and some people who
solo.
tried out, they have that their game knowledge stems from their rank compared to the like average rank of the rest of like the players. So like each rank is played differently. Like bronze is a completely different environment to silver, silver's a completely different environment to gold, and so on. So like your game style and your game sense isn't going to be up to date with people of higher ranks because you just haven't played in those lobbies where people are actually more aggressive and know how to play the game against you. So you don't know how to adapt at that point,
Yeah.
which is why it's such a struggle having like a diverse ranked team sometimes.
Right. So we'll go to my number two spot now.
We do
Um,
need to speed it up a bit. Look at the
yeah,
time.
it's almost pushing 2 hours now. I reckon we can get it 2 hours. Um,
Yeah, we have to try and cut it off after that though because
yeah.
Jesus.
So my number two spot is God of War because I love Norse.
That's number 2?
Yeah.
I thought that'd be on number 1. Oh, you're gonna say
No.
Spider-Man for number 1.
Spoilers.
I
Which one?
it can't be a spoiler if I don't know your list.
Yeah.
It's just a prediction.
So God of War's 2023, the newest one that's came out. Again, based on graphics, Norse mythology. It deep dives into Loki's backstory a little bit more than what he did in the number 4 game. I only played 4 and 5, or was it? No, it might have been 5 and 6. I don't remember. But yeah, the 2018 one is much different to the 2023 one. They're currently going through something called Fimbulwinter, I think it's called, which is the lead up to Ragnarok, and I feel like they tell that story pretty well. But yeah, that's why I like it.
Yeah.
Um,
I wish I got into that type of game, but I never had a PlayStation to even like try that game out.
yeah. So my number one spot, as Connor's already spoiled, is Spider-Man. So
Which one? Which one?
it's the 2018 version. I absolutely adore Miles Morales, but the 2018 version was such a longer game and it had more of a story arc to it, rather than Miles Morales could have just been a DLC where you played as Miles, got his backstory and stuff like that. The game literally could have just been a DLC, but they made it a full game, which is good because they enabled all the PlayStation stuff, the PlayStation 5 stuff. Sorry. But yeah, the new one, I feel like it's going to take the spot because what I've seen so far, it looks incredible. They've listened to the fans. They listened to all the feedback that they've had to get to it. So like, for instance, they've added a faster traversal style web slinging, where like you wrap around like I think it no you charge your web up on like a barrier or something, and you just propel forward, which is something that I think will take the top spot because it's just amazing. But yeah, what about your top spot?
Any guesses what my top game would be?
Or I feel
It's
like
a
it's
game what it's a game what I've spoke about a lot, which I've not been on my list yet.
it's either Life is Strange or a
Well, I'll
Pokemon
spoil
game.
it. Life is Strange.
Yeah,
I love Pokemon games, but I wouldn't rank them against higher than like Minecraft stuff like that.
yeah,
Even though I enjoy them more, Minecraft has a nostalgia aspect to it. Whereas I still play like Pokemon constantly to this day. But yeah, my number one spot would be just any Life is Strange game. Feels kind of cheating if I've just put the franchise of Life is Strange at the top,
yeah,
but it's just because as it's just a family of games, so I can't choose one over the other. So it'll just be weird if I put my top four as all the four Life is Strange games that exist. So I'm just gonna put Life is Strange like as an umbrella, a number one spot because every single game is just absolutely breathtaking for me. I love playing story mode games where like actions have consequences, where it's like Telltale's games,
yeah,
and I think Square Enix is such a good company for like these games what they've produced, and each character is so lovable, and the main characters, even the side characters of the games, I've honestly fallen in love with it. Like there's such a good like range of characters and the different abilities and different story modes and storylines. It's just it just can't be topped. It's one of the best games out there. I don't think I'll ever find a better franchise what I'll actually love as much as Life is Strange for like the foreseeable future.
yeah. I see
There's
that.
not much I can really say what we haven't covered when we spoke about your Life is Strange, so kind of a short discussion on my number one
Yeah.
spot.
So, we'll move on to films.
Okay,
Uh,
I was writing my lists as we were talking about that. Just do films and TV shows?
yeah,
Because
we'll
there's
do because I've got 5 films already. We'll do 7, so you get 2 picks of TV shows.
right, I've
Top
got
7.
2 TV shows and I've got 3 movies right now. I need to think of 2 more movies then.
Yeah, just think of them, and I'll start saying mine. You start saying yours, stuff like that. Think of
Well,
them
I
while you're
can
doing it.
hold. Well, I can't. 'Cause what if I can't say my number 7 and 6 without
All right.
knowing what they are first.
Well, do you want to start from
Um,
top spots down?
no, I do not.
Okay, I'll speak to everyone while you
Well,
think.
to be fair, you can talk about your number 7 spot whilst I think of my last two.
Um, no, I know what I'll do.
What do
It's
you mean?
fine.
No.
I know what
You
I'll
can't
do.
just say
No,
no. I mean,
no.
actually, I just did that to be fair, so
Um,
fair enough.
so, if you've enjoyed the podcast so far, just be sure to follow our Instagram and Twitter. Sorry, TikTok, not Twitter. Um, just give us feedback of what you think we should improve on. Sort of stuff that we can do for the foreseeable future. Sort of impacts that we've had on you, and sort of questions that we could probably discuss. If there's anything like at all that you want to talk to us about, or sort of make us talk about, then we'll be more than happy to sort of talk about it. Obviously, if you ask, we will reply to you in the comments, whether it gets added or not, just because some people might not know. Like, we had a comment on the first episode about The Flash, and we couldn't talk about that because I'm the only one that understands the TV show. The movie we can talk about, but the TV show, not everyone knows. But stuff like, I don't know, other Marvel movies, DC movies, anything in general, stuff that you might want us to watch, sort of stuff that you've watched and you want us to talk about, we can watch it and talk about it. So if you can, that'd be absolutely amazing. Thank you guys.
Yeah, I guess that way. So just if you want to speak to us about anything, talk to us for our Instagram comments, TikTok comments, YouTube comments. Just we will reply. It's not like we're really fighting for attention when it comes to comments. Not many people talk to us through this podcast, but So if anybody engages us, we'll just reply back instantly or as soon as we can.
Yeah.
And honestly, you might get a reply like three different replies from all three of the admins,
Yeah,
not
because
realizing.
we don't get notifications that that they've been responded to. So what it is, I see a new comment that Connor's already replied to, and I reply to it back. So on the first episode, we had like 3 different replies on one single comment. So it was all over the place. So if you do
Yeah,
get
it's a bit
more than,
chaotic.
just count yourself lucky if you get all 3 of us.
Or maybe cursed, depending on the comment.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, yeah, that's good time stalling because I managed to finish my list and you just kept going anyway.
yeah. Right.
Anyway, number 7 for
So
you.
my number 7 spot. Uh, I've only got 5. I've got 5 movies, but I can think of TV shows. Number 7, probably Matilda the musical.
Uh,
Shut up. It's a musical Connor won't enjoy. But I feel like the old Matilda that was told back in what I think it was like 19 summit. It wasn't long, but it was long ago for like almost 23 years old, I think. But yeah, that film was amazing, and then they brought out a musical version of it, which I really enjoyed. There's some parts of it that I don't like for instance, the Fez Ed scene, if you know what that is. I don't really like that. It's kind of boring. But yeah, I like the music in it. That's why I like musicals, because I like to listen to music. Um,
you're speaking absolutely alien to me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah, it's certain scenes in the movie. Don't worry. But yeah, I like Matilda the musical.
Right, my number 7. It's a curveball. It's a film that it'll always be deemed my favorite film, but not compared to the others, but just because it's my favorite nostalgic film. So I've watched about 10, 15 times is Happy Gilmore.
Isn't that the one with Adam
I
Sandler?
Yeah, it's one of Adam Sandler's film where he becomes a golfer.
Yeah.
I Something about that film, it's just the biggest like guilty pleasure for me to watch. It's one of the funniest things I think I've ever seen. I will always go back to watching it. Even though it's one of the most cheesiest comedies like known to man, I will never grow old of that film. And I could honestly watch it right now if I wanted to, and watch it straight after. I think it's a perfect piece of media that I'll never grow out of.
I always like Adam Sandler films. My favorite being Pixels.
Pixels. I like what is it? Click, the remote one.
Click, yeah. But I like
I think
Pixels
that's a
because
good
it's
one.
more gaming related, so I kind of relate to it all
Yeah.
and all the old
Um,
games.
what's the He has like another one. It's like a murder. Oh, is it just murder mystery?
It's murder mystery, yeah.
Yeah. Is there a murder mystery 2 now?
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna watch that. I watched the first one with my ex, and I didn't, and I was gonna watch the second one, but I didn't. I felt like I didn't have a reason to watch it because I wasn't with her anymore. So I was like, I don't know. I feel a bit weird watching the second one,
Yeah.
but I feel like I'm gonna have to watch it because it's something that's been on my list for about a year.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen many Adam Sandler films, but there's a couple that I've seen that are pretty good.
I think I've seen like almost all Adam Sandler films.
Nah, there's some of them that just don't interest me, like murder mystery, stuff like that. I've
I'm gonna have
seen
to give some
Click.
honorable mentions after these lists.
I'll give
I'm
some
just
honorable mentions then.
so many flooding into my brain right now, but I
Um,
just can't replace on the list. But I wish I could.
so if you want to set off with your sixth,
My sixth, if that's a massive. Why did I just get a list all of a sudden? My sixth is Tick Tick Boom.
yes, I didn't
I
think of that.
I did. That's the
That's a
reason why
musical, by the way, guys. That's a bloody
I
musical.
know. I originally had Pokemon the movie as my number 6 spot, and then I was like, I cannot just not talk about how good how said Adam Sandler, Andrew Garfield is
He
in
does it
this.
really well.
I
Jonathan
only know him
Larson, I
from
think it is.
Spider-Man. I only know him from Amazing Spider-Man, but seeing him in this as a completely different person and stuff, and like seeing how crazy he can be,
Yeah,
it's just amazing. Like even though it's like Charles said, a musical, don't like them. Um, I love the soundtrack. I know all the lyrics to the songs, and I think it's such a fun movie. It has its dark moments and like low moments, but it's just such a fun movie to watch.
yeah.
Yeah, that's all I can really say. And I've not watched it recently, but I'm definitely gonna watch it soon.
I want to
Again,
watch it again. Yeah.
I'll
Um.
watch it with you like next week or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So my number 6 spot is the Batman. The one with Robert Pattinson in. You haven't seen it yet, Connor.
Nope.
I
So
don't
this is
think
gonna be
you
another.
will.
This is gonna be another list like spot where I'm not have got any idea what you're talking about.
But I mentioned it up in the Blue Beetle discussion. It's really like dark and cynical, and it delves into the how dark Batman can be, um, and how sort of twisted each villain is and stuff like that. So I think the villain in this is I think it's Iceman. I can't remember what villain it was, but it's someone. It might be, yeah, Penguin, not Iceman. Penguin.
Isn't that Dan DeVito play Penguin in like the old Batman stuff?
I don't remember.
I remember my mum mentioning that Dan DeVito used to play Penguin.
I honestly don't remember. But that film, I enjoyed it. Coming out of the cinema when I watched it, I didn't like it because I'd never been a fan of Batman. But looking back on it now, it is a film that I actually really enjoyed. And originally, I thought that Robert Pattinson didn't really fit Batman, but they've sort of forged him into like a Batman type actor. He did it well, really.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll definitely give it a watch because it's like I don't like watching old superhero films like Batman and Superman like type films when like they're really old production.
yeah,
But since that's like a recent production, I feel like I'll have to give it a watch because a little bit more settling for my eyes to see.
yeah,
So I'll definitely give it a watch. I've just looked up the place I watch movies on and it's released HD now, so
yeah.
I'm probably gonna watch that soon.
What about your number 5?
Number five is Oppenheimer.
Oh, a new one.
If if you've watched previous podcasts when we spoke about Oppenheimer, you'd know how much I love watching this film. I'm not a history buff at all, but I felt like I knew everything to do with history after watching this film because just how well they tackle the entire like story and how like, the visuals are, and I think it's just like a masterpiece of a film.
Bro
I will
thinks he's
never
him.
I will never like grow out of this film. It'll be always something I'd like go back and watch when I'm bored.
Yeah, yeah, I see
But
that.
it's just it's one of the like most like in the same way Life is Strange is aesthetically pleasing. This is something what I'd watch just because how nice the scenery is and how nice like the effects are and stuff like I mentioned in the previous podcast when the bomb goes off, all the particles will shoot across the screen. It's just mesmerizing to watch at some points.
There's a certain soundtrack snippet thing in that that sounds like The Flash. I enjoyed that. But yeah,
Anyway, what's your number five?
my number 5 is going to be a series, something that we haven't
Oh,
fully watched yet. But it is up there because I just really enjoy the characters. It's Invincible. Now
yeah.
I like it because of how, again, it sort of shows how dark a superhero can get. Um, on the violent side, and it's sort of showing you how dark a superhero can get, and then an upbringing of a superhero. So Omni Man being the one that's dark and cynical, and Invincible being the one that's upcoming. But I feel like that these two contrast as in a way that obviously the father and son, so it's a bit of a family feud if you'd say. But I really really enjoyed it when I watched it
Yeah,
first time.
I'm enjoying this watch through. It's not something I'm absolutely binging because it's just they are long episodes,
An
granted.
hour.
But I like watching them when I do watch them. It's just not something I can binge because of the length of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're number four.
My number 4 is going to be another series. Now, this series I like because it delves into time travel,
Oh,
and it goes to some of my favorite times in history.
oh,
It's Umbrella Academy.
I was fingers crossed you're going to say Agents of Shield.
No, that's
Oh,
I didn't think about putting that
honorable
on.
mention.
Yeah, honorable mention of
Honorable
Agents
mention.
of Shield. That's not on my list because I didn't think of it. But yeah, uh, the Umbrella Academy dives into different time periods each season, and my favorite was season 2 because they would go back to like the 80s type style and showing all like the 80s tribe, not the 80s tribe, sorry, 80s time period, and Klaus having his tribe and stuff like that, and all the what was it? The is it? Oh, what event is it?
Oh,
The
wait,
end
what's this?
end of the world event sort of
End of
thing.
the world. What when the nuke goes off?
Yeah,
Yeah, and that final fight scene, like outside where the nuke goes off, where
yeah,
like, oh, like it's such a good fight scene where like you see all their powers fully like in like use, where Diego can like move all his bullets away from him. Allison can summon those like ghosts.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, not Allison. Klaus can summon ghosts. Allison just tells people to shoot themselves.
yeah.
And Vanya, don't even get me started on Vanya.
Oh my god.
She was so cool in that.
Uh, but yeah, I feel like season two is my favorite. Season three was a bit of a letdown, but also quite enjoyable at the same time. Season one will
Yeah.
probably be my least favorite, just because, yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
respect the Umbrella Academy being up there. That's one of the best things I've ever watched.
but
Luckily, it sadly doesn't make my list, but
yeah.
it is up definitely up there.
Okay, your number four.
My number four is another film. My two series are number one and two. Um, my fourth favorite like film is just the first Doctor Strange.
Oh, I see that. Yeah,
I think the first Doctor Strange is how perfect CGI can be. I
yeah,
don't think there's a single moment in Doctor Strange where I've gone, oh, that CGI is a bit bad. I think that's the most perfected film when it comes to CGI and like when it like dives into like the mystical type of stuff of the MCU, like the dark dimension, all the powers and stuff like that, or like the
yeah.
magic. I think it looks like absolutely amazing. That's the reason why Doctor Strange is one of my top superheroes. It's just because how cool he is depicted and like all the how his abilities work, how the time stone works, the Eye of Agamotto, just the dark dimension in general, just how nice that looks. I think it's just the absolute peak of MCU CGI and character writing.
I
Plus
see
the
that.
ancient one, I think the ancient one's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Right.
really have
Oh,
much to say on Doctor Strange.
yeah. I feel like you're not like a big Doctor Strange nerd.
Nah.
You're more of a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All right. So my number three,
Yes.
going to the top three, a very recent film in my in my number three spot. It would be Blue Beetle.
Oh no! I was hoping you were gonna say Across the Spider Verse.
Nope. Blue Beetle is absolutely just taken my list by storm. Literally got released like last week, and what was it like? Literally like a day or two ago.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. That's it's just completely blown me away as Blue Beetle. It's one of the best things I think I've ever watched. It's perfectly nerdy, perfectly like funny, perfectly serious in times, tackling like serious issues as well as like being comedic about it. I think that's just like a perfect film for me. And like what I like throughout the film is that it's not just like a hero versus a villain. It goes back to the old like trope where it's red versus blue.
Yeah.
They like the old school hero versus villain, red versus blue battles. And I think that's what proper topped it off for me is about seeing the hero being blue color, enemy being a red color. I just think that was such a good way they chose to do that villain.
Yeah. No spoilers.
He's in the trailers,
Is in the trailers. Yeah, you're right.
I think.
He is. Yeah. Um.
And any comic fans knows that he's the villain anyway.
Yeah. So my number three spot, uh, is gonna be No Way Home. Uh, just because it's a Spider-Man film.
Sleeper.
Everyone says it's bad. Everyone says
It's not a bad film. It's just not got rewatchability.
it's not got
It's a perf.
rewatchability.
It's a really good film on first watch, but it's just not something I can. The main hype of the film comes from Andrew and Toby.
Everyone hated on it because they thought that they were putting these characters in just because uh, all the fans wanted him, which was right, yes, but they put them in because they were messing with time. The time they were messing with the multiverse. Sorry, and to see Andrew, my childhood, Toby and Andrew on that screen with the current
No
Spider-Man.
spoilers.
Oh, sorry. Oh no. Um, but yeah, to see them two on the screen with Tom is absolutely amazing. I feel like the villains were done perfectly. They really brought out how cynical Green Goblin could be by killing Aunt May and stuff like
I
that.
I'll agree that is one of the best depictions of Green Goblin. He is actually like insane in
Yeah,
that film. Not just like oh look, it's like an old man. It's like a Green Goblin's a bit messed up in the head. It's kind of all right, that's kind of cool. But in this, is actually psycho.
yeah,
He's crazy in this film. And what's the Willem Dafoe?
yeah.
His the way he like he the way he like makes his eyes look when he's playing Green Goblin. He was just born for that role.
It's scary, but it's so cool.
I
in
feel like
in
he
it.
gets too into character. I feel like around the set of Spider-Man, I feel like he's like the scariest person.
Yeah,
So I feel like he doesn't get out of character like behind the scenes. I feel like he just stays in character.
just to see them all on that screen though, it probably took me back to when I was like, what was it, like 10, 11, watching Spider-Man 3 for the first time and stuff like that. I
See, take me
really
back, but
enjoyed
it's not
it.
even that long ago for you
It's not that
compared
long
to me.
ago, yeah, but it proper took me back, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's fair. Just like I said, it's just a single time watch for me. I can't get the hype when the main hype of the film is based around the three Spider-Man.
Yeah,
It's just once you know what when it's gonna happen, the build up for it just seems really slow and dragged out. I don't know. It's just I loved watching it in cinema. When I watched it in cinema, I thought it was one of the best things I ever saw. But when I tried watching it again on Disney Plus, I was like, is this really as good as I thought? Or did I just like it because of the reveals?
yeah,
I like Electro in that film, though. Electro is really cool.
yes, 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 yes.
Anyway, your number two.
My number two is going to be a series. It's very well known. Uh, there is going to be a season four, which is going to be the last season. Um, but it's Stranger Things. Now,
I was trying to think of what you were going with there, but yeah.
there's a lot of people that just straight out don't like it. I was like that at first. I was like, I don't understand the hype. I don't understand it. And then season three came out, so I was like, oh, you know what? I'll start to give it a watch. I started watching
I
season
did the
one
exact same thing.
and two, and then they were boring. I didn't like Steve or anything. And then season three came, and then bang! I loved Steve. I love Robin. I love all the
Nancy for me.
yeah. I just
I love Nancy.
I love the emotional connection you get to the characters. Again, that's what gets it for me. I love the emotional connection to characters. Um, but yeah, season four was definitely one of my favorites. I like the fact that they included Max a lot more because she felt I feel that she was a bit left out in season three. Um, but I'm glad that they focused on that. And then Vecna is just scary.
I still stand by the point where I think Vecna and what is it, the other one, the big guy,
Mind
the
Flayer.
Mind Flayer. I feel like they should have been swapped.
Yeah,
I feel like the
I
Mind Flayer
understand
should
that.
have been the big bad in the most recent, and Vecna should have been the one before him.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it, and I like the connection that they all have to the Upside Down. I like the fact that they've all been there now. It's just great.
Yeah,
Um,
I did the same thing as you. I didn't watch the first season of Life is Strange, Stranger Things. Sorry, two same word and two different things. I didn't watch the first or second season of Stranger Things for like a while. I just completely ignored it.
yeah,
And then when the season three came out, I was like, you know what, that trailer didn't look too bad. I guess I'll go back and watch this and see if I enjoy it. I mean, I think I binged the first two seasons in like 48 hours. I was like, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I can't wait for the next one now.
yeah.
Um, Another weird story about Stranger Things. I ordered a Mortal Kombat poster years ago, and when it arrived for Christmas, I opened it and it was a Stranger Things poster,
Oh no.
and I was like, this was the point. I didn't even watch Stranger Things at this point. I was like, why has this been sent then? So a couple like literally it was like downstairs the Stranger Things poster for about 3 years, and nobody touched it. And then like only like last year, my ex took the poster, like took off this brown paper, and my Mortal Kombat poster was underneath it
Oh
for
god.
like, this entire time. But what I me and my family think they did is that the village it take the like village and city it takes place in is Hawkins.
Yeah.
So I think they saw my last name on the order and thought that was like the keyword for the poster I was ordering
Yeah.
because it was plastered. That word was plastered all over the poster. So I feel like they sent us the Stranger Things poster thinking that's what we ordered as well.
Oh
So,
well, you got a free poster.
well, my mom's got it now. I had no room to put it in my bedroom anymore. I've now replaced it with Pokemon posters and like traditional Japanese art cat posters being Godzilla.
But yeah, your number two spot now.
My number two spot is a series you've not heard of at all. I've mentioned it to you recently. It's called Alice in Borderland.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's if you don't mind watching shows from like across the seas from foreign places, Alice in Borderland is a Japanese series, which is literally it's like Squid Games but turned up to like turned up 5 times, 5 times more deadly, 5 times more like risk. It's like they get transported to this like different dimension. It looks like it's Tokyo, but it's everybody's gone missing, everybody's disappeared, and they get forced to play these like life or death games. And if they lose, they just get killed instantly,
Yeah.
similar to like Squid Game, like I said. But like the games are like they play hide and seek, for instance. But it's not just classic hide and seek. They're playing again. They play the Seekers are massive military people with guns. So
Oh.
if they get found, obviously just get mowed down.
Yeah.
So and they've got to escape, and the only way they can live is if they complete these games to get like days added to their visa. And so they've not got a choice but to play the games. So it's just it's good watching that, and the fact it's called Alice in Borderland is obviously like a nod to Alice in Wonderland, and all the characters in Borderland is like contrasting to Alice in Wonderland characters. Like the main character is called Arisu, which is how you'd say the name Alice in Japan, like with a Japanese accent. You wouldn't say Alice, you'd say Arisu. So that's why they've called it that. And like they have all these like the Cheshire Cat and stuff like that. The Cheshire Cat's also a character in Borderland, but as a human and like the same personality and stuff. It's
Yeah.
really weird. I think it's one of the best things I think I've ever watched. And there's a new season coming out soon, and I think it's in December. And I'm actually like on the edge of my seat waiting for it. You honestly need to watch it. There's an English version of it, like English voices.
I'll have to
So
see. I watched Squid Game in English.
I'll after this, before I go get a shower, you can make you watch the trailer for it.
All right. Yeah. Um,
Anyway, wait, is this your number two or my number one now?
your number one. I'm gonna save mine for last.
All right, can you guess what my number one is?
Is it a series?
It's a series.
Agents of Shield?
Nope,
Uh
same universe.
oh. What if?
Nope. Come on, man, you should know me better than this.
Oh, Miss Marvel. Sorry.
Miss Marvel. Very controversial opinion about Miss Marvel is my number one thing of all time.
Yeah.
A part of that does come from the actress Iman Vellani who plays Kamala Khan, because I have like secretly the biggest like celebrity crush on her. Nobody knows that, obviously.
It's
I
not a
don't make it my
secret.
entire
It's
personality.
not a secret.
But I've definitely not spent a stupid amount of money on Miss Marvel merchandise like comics and pop figures. Um, but I think it's the perfect combination of cringy, but a comedy with like tense moments, and like I think her powers being changed to being like light powers instead of mutant like arm stretching like Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I think that makes her such a different character to what she's in comics, because we've just seen Mr. Fantastic in uh Multiverse of Madness, and
John Krasinski. Sorry.
we're gonna see him again in Fantastic Four, which is coming out in 2024, I think.
Yeah.
So having Miss Marvel who can stretch her limbs in the MCU, one, it's really hard for directors to make that CGI, and with how CGI is in Marvel recently, that I know for a fact it would not look good. And two, it just makes her stand alone as her own character with her own powers. Yeah, she has links to Captain Marvel, but that kind of just goes with her character that she is Miss Marvel because of Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
where Carol Danvers used to be the Miss Marvel in comics. So like, even though it's similar powers, it's because of that connection, like pre-existing connection through comics with Captain Marvel. And I just can't wait for November when her Photon and Captain Marvel appear on big screens and kick up, like absolutely kick. Bad word I can't say, which nice way of saying is but um kick absolute people's head in with their light powers, and
Yeah.
the film's coming out soon. But
Exciting stuff.
that'll always be my number one spot. I love the character, I love the actress, love the show.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Okay. Honorable mention for my number one spot. Moon Knight.
I thought it was gonna be on your list, but
Moon Knight is my honorable mention for number one because the way that they is it depict? I don't know what it is. The way that they like delve into the DID side. I told Connor a couple of days ago or whatever it was. I was sat laid up in bed and I found a a video that was like a deep dive into a DID. Which, if you don't know what it is, it's dissociative identity disorder. Try saying that many times in a row.
I don't think I will. I can't even say the first word.
But yeah, it's basically multiple personalities, and the way that it's sort of portrayed in Moon Knight is absolutely amazing. Um,
You don't even know which like Moon Knight you're seeing at certain times
until
when
they
he's
have
not
the
in.
suit that you don't
Yeah, and
know.
if they're out of the suit, you don't know if you're seeing Steven, if you're seeing
Grant,
Mark,
Mark, yeah,
if- or even Jake,
yeah.
which
Um,
I think he's actually in the main series, but we don't get told he's in the main series.
I feel like it's when you know in when they're chasing and stuff, and he just blacks out, and then they're
Yeah,
all dead.
where it's like a sandy area,
Yeah,
where it's like hanging somebody over the edge of the cliff.
yeah.
Have you seen that like the in that is like nods to Rama Tut with the Kang variant
No, I didn't see that.
in the background in that because it's in Egypt. There is a artwork of one of the comic covers. It's like very vague though. Artwork of one of the comic covers for Kang the Conqueror being depicted as Rama Tut, which is the Kang's version of like a pharaoh of Egypt.
I didn't see that.
He he went back in time and ruled Egypt as Kang the Conqueror with all his technology, and so he's called Rama Tut, and that was shown very vaguely in Moon Knight,
Oh,
but
yeah,
only
but
if he was looking for it though.
yeah, it's one of them things that are definitely rewatchable. Like I'm thinking about rewatching it just because I'm really interested in it now. Like I just love Marvel. I can't
I
get
love
enough
the
of it.
hippo.
Yeah, the hippo's great, but I just love.
What's the name?
I don't know. I just love the emotional not emotional attachment. I keep saying that all the time now.
New
It's just
phrase unlocked.
the relationship that Mark and Steven have. Um, they're making like a bromance, if you'd say. Um, but yeah, I just think they do it really well. And then the reveal of Jake Lockley, um, at the end is
Yeah, that was
I
a good
can't wait.
reveal.
I can't
One of
wait.
my one of my favorite female heroes is from that show, which is the Scarlet Scarab.
Yes.
I think she looks so good in that armor. It's like Wonder Woman, but for Marvel.
Yeah, I feel like
With
I've
her
seen her
armor is.
somewhere before, but I can't think where.
Whilst you run a bit more about Moon Knight, I'll have a look for you.
I'm gonna move on to my number one spot. Can you guess it?
I can't. No,
You can't.
no, not off the top of my head.
I talk about it all the time.
You talk about a lot of stuff all the time.
Wow. Anyway, my number one spot is Across the Spider Verse. It's a new film, but I think it was done super well. And of
All
course,
right, yeah, okay, I see
it's
this.
a Spider-Man film. Um, the main focus is supposed to be Miles, but the way I saw it, it was Gwen. It started with Gwen, ended with Gwen. That's how it was, and I love Gwen. Yeah. That's the whole reason I like it. No, I'm kidding.
It's a really good film.
It
It's
is a
the
really
way
good
it's
film.
drawn is amazing.
Uh, it's the way that all the originally going into the film, I thought Scarlet Spider because I used to be called the Scarlet on all games, all platforms, stuff like that. I used to be called the Scarlet, and Scarlet Spider was my favorite. It's voiced by a really good voice actor, Andy
Do you know his
Samberg,
name? Oh, you do.
from Brooklyn Nine-Nine as Jake. But yeah, Gwen sort of took the stage for me. I've loved her since Into the Spider Verse. Um, but I sort of grew more fond of her like now.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it was a really good watch. I just want to see Silk in the next one though.
yeah, I hope she is.
Cindy
Um,
Moon as Silk. She's the best Spider variant. I need to see her on an actual canon screening of Marvel.
but the way that they've they went into like canon events and stuff like that, and the way that they introduced all the other Spider people, um, like Spider Punk, Indian Spider Man, um,
Go on, carry on.
there's
Spider Bite,
Spider Bite. Yeah, I love Spider Bite actually. She's great. And then there's also Spider
all the
Woman,
old ones,
all the
all the
old
old ones from
ones.
like Spider Noir, Peter Parker.
Yeah, there's so many references you can go into that. You can go into that movie and spot 20 thousands of Easter eggs
You'll
in that
find a new
movie.
Easter egg with every different look.
Every
Every time
scene,
you go back and look at it, you'll find something new.
every single scene, there's probably an Easter egg. Like there's
Honestly,
multiple of them. I just love it. But
yeah,
yeah,
I don't disagree with that at all. That honestly is deserving of a top spot. It's just Sadly, it's not on mine.
Well, we've both done it for the same reasons. We both love the actors that play them and love the
Yeah,
characters.
my Miss Marvel is yours Across the Spider Verse,
Yeah, your
and for the
your
exact same
Kamala Khan
reasons.
is my Gwen.
Honestly, I can see that with how much we're addicted to each character.
But yeah, that's all of our movies.
Yeah. Some honorable mentions for me though. Half your list is quite an honorable mention for me. Squid Game's got to be up there just because how much of an impact it made on everybody when that
Yeah.
first got released. That's one of the main things what Korean media came into the Western side of the world without backlash. I had another honorable mention, but I can't think of it now off the top of my head.
Well, I've got
Oh,
two or three.
Amazing
Um.
Spider-Man. Both Amazing Spider-Man films. They're my honorable mentions
Yeah.
because I think those are the best Spider-Man. He's the best Spider-Man. Like we said earlier, the teenagers playing, the 30-year-olds playing teenagers is a bit weird, but I honestly don't care. Andrew Garfield is a master at work.
Yeah. So
He's such a fun Spider-Man.
some honorable mentions, not for the top spot, but just in that list. Like Connor said, Tick Tick Boom. That's one. There's also Agents of Shield. Like I said. Um. There's one more. There's a series. The Boys. The
The boy.
Boys.
Oh, that's deserving. Yeah,
Is an honorable mention. And then one that people don't really get on with, but it's Multiverse of Madness. Um,
that's a good one. It could have been better, but it's not really. It's not. It's like a bad film. It just had moments where it could have been increased.
yeah, I
Like
100%
for
agree with
instance,
that.
like how like the scene where they fight with music. I thought that was the most cringe-inducing thing I've ever watched in my life. I'm not even gonna lie.
I just like the part that they go to different dimensions. I loved it. But yeah,
Yeah.
we're stretching on 2.5 hours now, so we're gonna have to cut off now.
Gee, it's been that long.
Yeah, so it's gonna be long. It might be a bit of a delayed upload. Won't probably be uploaded till about 3 a.m. So I am sorry for the late upload. We kind of did go on a big rant in Jacob's absence.
Yeah.
But
Means
yeah,
he's got more to make up for next week.
yes, it won't be as long as this week. So we've just done sort of a special me and Connors type deal. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, again, we'll just say this now. If you do have any questions or any topics you want us to cover, just send us a comment, message us on TikTok or Instagram. We'll be more than happy to talk to you about it or cover it in our next podcast. Again, our TikToks and our Instagrams are on screen now. So we just want to say thank you so much for watching. I've been Charlie,
I've been Connor.
and this is Trinity signing off. Goodbye.